And now we can, Derek. Now we can. We're ready to go. I always forget when I switch sings. I need to restart the audio every time. Thanks for the heads up. Ben Ty's in the building. Welcome in. Yaris, welcome in as well. Welcome to the stream, y'all. How y'all feeling? I have my own house dance music on platforms. If you want, link in my bio if you want to send it in. If that's what you're talking about. Anima, we should be good. We should be good. Derek Bennett's in the building. What's up, Anima? Anima, we should be up and running. Should be up and running. I make amateur Christian music. Let's go, Shade. Let's go. I got you. Sorry, I mean, I've been all over the place the last week. I finally have things. I can't show it on the camera right now. I finally have nearly everything done in here. Still waiting on a couple items in the studio. Still waiting, as always. Still waiting on a couple items here in the studio. But almost everything is up and ready to go. To be honest, though, nothing is routed yet. So that's the sidebar here. So, it's all set up. For the most part, it's almost all set up outside of the stuff that's going to be happening here on the desk. But at least everything is there. At least it all exists there. It's just not set up yet. So it's not routed yet. I'm waiting for a couple other items to come in before I route the patch bays and stuff like that, because I don't want to have to reroute and relabel the patch bays and stuff like that. That's just super, super annoying. We ready to put it? Nick, let me know what you're talking about, and I'll positive what you're talking about. If y'all want to send music, it's at the link in my bio. Welcome from Greenland. Welcome in. 13 million just started with something. Let's go. Yeah, link in my bio if you want to submit. Sam Fender, or not Sam Fender. Welcome in. But, is it Addy? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. If y'all want to submit music, it is at the link in my bio. We're gonna get rolling with some submissions here in just a couple minutes. The queue is also at the link in my bio. Everything is there. Long time no see. Submitted my final arrangement. No guitar yet, though my skills aren't up to par yet. Sounds good, Anima. I got you, man. I'm excited to break it down. If you want to see the queue, the order, line, stuff like that, it is also at the link in my bio. If you click on the submission tab, you'll see everything that you need right there. Let me update just a few things, and then I will get into my spiel, starting the live, getting into the details of what we're doing. Instead of 1 minute, it's now 2 minutes, Anima. That's progress. That's double the progress right there. That's amazing, man. That's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right, let me double check a few things here. I hope y'all are doing absolutely amazing. Do me a huge favor on TikTok and tap the screen, share out the live. Let me know where you're joining from. Talk to me a little bit. If you make music, let me know the kind of music you make. I would love to get into some of the details of what y'all are doing. Mikey Videotapes in the building. What's up, Mikey? Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's see. Wait, is this not updating over here? Give me a sec. It's not. Okay, hold on. This is not updating over here. Give me a moment. 1 second, y'all. Sounds good. Dylan, welcome in. Drummer for Call to Action metal band from Boston. Let's go. I love it. Give me 1 sec. I gotta refresh something. So give me a sec. This whole thing looks like it might need refresh. Let me see, because it doesn't want to pop in. Give me one moment, y'all. While y'all are waiting on me to get this rolling here, there's always something. I just got to find a way to refresh all this. Let's see. Let's try that. Boom. Let's see. Fantastic song, Ravioli, but we're not listening to popular artist or music that is not your own. Fantastic vocal, though. But yeah, this is not for popular artists. This is for your music. We are talking about your music. So if you make music in any capacity or connected to music in any capacity, that's what this live stream is all about. It is all about. Okay, I'm trying to figure something out here, and it's not working, but that's okay. It's okay. It happens. Yeah, no worries. If you make music or you're an engineer, you're a producer, you're an artist, you're a vocalist, you're a songwriter, you're a poet, whatever it may be, if anybody does want to submit, it is at the link in my bio. I got submissions rolling in right now while I'm trying to figure out refreshing this. So give me just a moment, y'all. Always something to figure out. It's the source over here. Let's try this. Might just be this. Boom, let's try that. Boom. Oh, beautiful. Derek's in the building. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. It should be, okay, we're live. I just have to refresh it. There's so many different platforms here, y'all. It's crazy. I'm like using, social stream over here to combine the chats over here, but then I have to send it to OBS, but then OBS needs to restart capture for that thing randomly every 20 seconds. So I got to restart that. There's so many different things going on, y'all, but I think I got it working. I think we're good. Call to action. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot as well. Retrack is in the building. What's up, Retrack? I hope you're doing fabulous today, man. Welcome in. Thank y'all for joining the stream. I appreciate y'all being here. All right, let me update just one thing, and then we'll get into my spiel. We'll get into my spiel real quick. Let's see. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, we're rolling. Y'all keep me updated on if anything is giving y'all issues, but I do believe that audio is working. Submitted a house. Ooh, let's go retrack. And I got you, bro. I got you. 1 sec. Boom. Easy. All right, you're up, Retrack. I got you. Okay, so let's see. Shane, I got you. Derek, I got you. Enema, I got you. Alan in the building. Alan, thank you so much for the submission. I appreciate that. Retrack, I got you up there as well, man. I appreciate you a lot. You're up in line. Okay, let me double check one thing over here, and then we're going to dive into some music. Y'all keep tapping the screen, keep sharing out the live, so on and so on. A quick reminder, the mods will help you out over time as well, but if you need to submit, it's at the link in my bio. Okay. Let's see. Let's make sure everything is up and running. Still kind of getting used to some of the new format over here and making sure that everything is working together. Kashmir, link in my bio. Give me just one moment, and we are going to. Got you, Derek. Got you. We are going to dive into the music. Let's get it. Y'all, I haven't been live in what feels like months, but it's more legitimately been like 4 days. Retrack, thank you for the heartbeat. I appreciate that a lot. Jack, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. It feels like it's been forever. I have been working tirelessly in the studio for the last week or so, redoing, it might look the same to y'all, to be honest, but on my end, in my workflow in here, the stuff that's in here, it's dramatically different. So I have been kind of out of commission for the last week or so. Anna said, waiting for me yesterday. Yeah, I've been out for like the last probably about 5 days or so that I have not, been able to do largely anything in here. It's been torn apart. I'm rerouting, recabling, restructuring everything. So that has been fun and stressful and chaotic, but at the same time, it's going to lead to some great stuff, great music, great services, and also, of course, hopefully some content that will help y'all out as well. But let's get into some music. That's why hopefully most of y'all are here. Let's dive into it. Thank y'all so much for joining today. I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate y'all, coming into the stream, hanging out with us for a little bit. If you've never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the stream. If you have never been here before, there are 2 lanes that you can submit your music to. There is a free line. That free line is where we listen to up to 2 minutes of your song and give a quick note. Once again, we will listen to up to 2 minutes of your song and give it a quick note, maybe on the mix, on structure, whatever it may be. Those are fast. They're quick. That's the free line. The bulk of what we do here is the consultation side. That's the paid side. Those are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultations on the structure of your music. Those are long, they're deep dives, they're incredibly nuanced. We're going to dive into the details of your mix, production, sound design, lyric and song formatting. We're going to get into the details and the nuances of what you're doing both creatively and practically within the structure of your music. Those are not quick reviews. There's no trash or pass ratings or polls attributed to those. Those are long form, they're very detailed, they're very, very nuanced. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for the last 14 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician, pianist specifically. So the goal and the perspective of the stream is just to break things down from that perspective and offer some specific, professional, and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. Okay, let me double check one thing here, refresh, and there, boom. Okay, really quick. If y'all would like to submit your music for said free line or consultations, which we're going to dive into here in just a moment. Everything, if you're on TikTok specifically, everything is at the link in my bio. Go to my profile, click on the head twice, go to my profile, you'll see the link in my bio, you'll see a tab, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. You'll see a tab that says submit your music or something similar to that. You'll see the free line there, and you'll see the paid line with the consultation side, the 20 to 30 minute breakdowns, and you will also see where you can see the queue. There's a little tab that says see the queue once you get into the submission process. That's where you can check the line, the orders, minimums, if you want to skip, you want to go faster, so on and so on. That's where that line sits right there. So you can always check the order and where you're at, so on and so on. Does every song in the paid line get 20? Yes, 100%. It absolutely does, Alan. So on the paid line, it just goes top to bottom. So whatever that's not in my control, that's in y'all's control. So I will play the top song and then go to the next one. Verona, welcome in. Thanks for being here. So I'll go from the top and we'll move down to the bottom. The number on there, the amount that you pay, just determines how fast you go, right? So some people will skip and they'll send more in order to go faster. No pressure to do that, but that's usually what people are doing if they're wanting to go faster. But yeah, whether you're a 10 or you're much higher than that, it's going to be the same full breakdown, same 20 to 30 minute consultation there. So that's on TikTok. If you are on Twitch, the purple app, as we like to call it here, you can type !submit right there in the chat and the link will present itself to you. Thank you for the follow. If you are on the red app or YouTube, as we like to call it, it's backwards, but you can go to the description for the live stream and you'll see everything that you need right there. Same link, all links to the same places. Marco, thank you for the follow. Theo, thank you for the follow. I love y'all. I appreciate it. Thanks for tapping in. Let's get into some music. Let's get into some music, y'all. We're going to kick it off right now. Let me refresh and let's dive in once again. I know most of y'all are on TikTok, so make sure y'all go to the link in my bio if you're wanting to submit, check the line, so on and so on. But let's get into it. We got Derek Bennett in the building featuring Mary Chandler Hicks. Unfinished, unmixed, adding more of my BGV on the chorus. Okay, Derek, you know the deal better than most people here. You have submitted many dozens of song. So let's get into it, man. Talk me through a little bit of what you're focusing on this, so on and so on. You know, give me some nuance here. Talk to me about kind of where you're at with this record in particular. This is Temptation by Derek Bennett. Recorded these the other day. So these are fresh vocals. Have I heard the production? Let me know. I know sometimes it's hit or miss whether or not I've heard some of the production or it's early or it's mastered or whatever. It's kind of all over. So let me know how much, if any of this, I've heard, but I'm assuming these are fresh vocals. This is Temptation by Derek Bennett. Let's dive in. Dive in. It's time. Deborah, welcome in. You've heard the production, but changed vocalist and lyrics and some production. Oh, so that's pretty fresh. You kind of just listed everything, so.
Standing there amongst the crowd, I heard your voice, it felt so loud.
Love that piano.
I can't escape the sound. I taste the fire, but I can't have it. I can't have it. You look so sweet, but I don't need it. I don't need it. Even when I look
Nice and cinematic, man.
you're still right. I taste the fire, but I can't have it. I can't have it.
I like this build, man.
I draw a line inside my head to fight the words I never should have said.
Nice depth on the dynamics too,
You
man.
pull me in, I
Okay.
pull away.
Okay.
I'm begging myself not to stay.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
I taste the fire, but I can't have it. I can't have it. You look so sweet, but I don't need it. I don't need it. Even when I look away, you're still right.
Yeah.
I taste
Link in my bio if you want to submit. Link in my bio.
I can't have it. I can't have
music that you've worked on at least. Thanks for the follow, y'all. Appreciate it. No worries at all. That's up there. Come on. Yeah, she's up there. She's up there. Y'all, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Derek Bennett Music right here in the chat. You can see him on the different platforms. So this is not a requested stream. This what we're doing right now are long form consultations. There is a free line you can submit to, but this is not strictly just requesting songs right here in the chat or for popular artists or artists that are fairly well known. This is to talk about your music, hence the name here. This is talking about your music. So if you are an artist, you're a producer, you're an engineer, you're a session musician, you're a vocalist, you're a songwriter, you're an agent, you're a label, you're a manager, so on and so on. If you are close to the music process and you are, intimately acquainted with the music process, then this is a live stream for you. We do 20 to 30 minute breakdowns and consultations to dig into the details of what is going on within your music, both creatively and practically. So that's what this is all about. Now, obviously, there's not a whole lot of benefit to doing that with popular artists. So the goal of what we're doing is to really get into your music, helping, producers and engineers with their structure and with their craft to hopefully kind of take it to the next level. But yeah, that's what we're doing here. And if y'all want to submit, it's at the link in my bio. We all show some love to Derek Bennett. Let's get into it. Main thing I want to break down, most of the production I can appreciate. Obviously, this is unmixed, Derek, so there's elements of this that will come forward later on that I'm not too worried about. I think it'll just kind of fall into place once you send it to the engineer. Like the drums towards the end, like midsection and like last kind of D section at the end, like that last hook and bridge where those drums can come forward by 6 dB. They can open up quite a bit. That will be beneficial once you go to the engineer. I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to listen for a couple little dynamic things in here. But most of the production structure I think is great. I just really want to make sure that we optimize dynamics so we don't miss anything, especially getting into the last section when they're going crazy. Gotta get away. When they're doing that crazy stuff at the end, I want to make sure there's enough dynamic range leading to that it matters a lot. Obviously, you said you're still adding some background vocals, you're still doing some BGVs, so I know that's going to fill out a little bit more, hopefully, in this last section of the song, which I think will be great. Thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate it. So let's dive in, man. Let's run it from the top. Let's go through some details. But y'all, please show some love to Derek Bennett Music. Producer Drew is in the building. Dianella's in the building. Thank you so much for joining. Producer Drew, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that. Let's get into it. But I do love this early moment here. That's super simple, but that's a really good underline right there. That's a really, really good lead piano melody right there. It's so simple. It's so easy to pick up on, but it's a good fingerprint of the song. It's a good instrumental hook right there. I think B section of verse 2 and choruses will have my BGVs. Okay, perfect. Let's get into it. But I really like this. Yeah, of course. Danilo, 100%. It's a really, really nice early section here, though.
Temptation is all around. Standing there.
Simple, clean. Link in my bio if you want to submit.
Heard your voice, it felt so loud. I can't escape the sound.
And so dynamic-wise, I'm going to skip forward here just a second. I think it could be nice. Okay, because it takes almost 2 minutes for any percussion at all to come in, I think it could be nice to still have some 4-count, cross sticks or rim shots with an incredible amount of reverb on them. Really, really drawn out percussion elements here in this early section when we go to the hook. I don't think you need to add in cinematic drums. I don't think we need a groove, no hats. I don't even necessarily think we need a kick if you're going to rely on bass drops and stuff like that and low, rumbles and stuff like that to create some of that impact right there. I don't think we need a lot more than that. But I do think it'd be nice to wake this up. Yeah, on the hook, I wouldn't go, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't go for a full loop as much as just one you know what I mean? Just one big, not snap, but just one big pop that happens on like the 4. I'll show you here in a sec. That way you have a little bit more dynamic range and there's some percussive element. You simplify right after that going into the interlude in the second verse, and then percussion picks up after that, which I think is great. But in this section here, I think it would be nice to just add like one element, I think specifically on like the 4 count. So
I taste the fire, but I can't have it.
it's right there, ton of reverb. Just a nice ring. Way in the background, like tons of reverb. You could even do it every other time. You don't even have to do it every 4 right there. You could do it like every 8 counts or something like that. Or do it on the 3 and then do it every 8 counts after that. Like it would a very, very spread out, tons of reverb, way back in the mix, just enough, like filtered down quite a bit. You get a bass drop, you get a nice little kick on the bottom or a rumble on the bottom, and then like every 4 or every other 4 introduce a just to kind of split that up a little bit so it doesn't feel like we go down to just sub bass and strings and there's nothing to kind of drive it forward. It can be so subtle. It just breaks up the rigidity of having just like a sine wave or a sub bass underneath it and just gives us a little pop of energy in the mids. Something as simple as that, I think could help wake it up just a little bit and then give you a little bit more leeway dynamic wise. This will bump it up 5%. You'll go a little bit lower for the verse and then the rest of the percussion will come in on the second verse here. Yeah, simple, easy. Shout out, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that. You could probably keep it here. Alternate there or something. Simple out. You can go all the way simple here until the percussion comes back in. So you get a little bit broader dynamic range.
You pull me in, I pull away.
And I think you mentioned here this might be where you want to have some BGVs underneath this here too. I think when they're when they're doing the high vocal there, that is probably where you want to start adding in, like you said, maybe B section of the second verse might be where you want to start bringing in at least a low octave, even if you don't have harmonies or stacks, at least a low octave underneath that vocal following that melody. So it's like super locked in. Yeah, that's what I have in mind. Perfect. Yeah. B section there, low octave underneath it, support that vocal because it's lonely at the top of the mix. It's a beautiful lead vocal, but it's a little bit lonely at the top of the mix there.
I'm begging myself not to stay.
Hey, welcome in, y'all.
I taste the fire, but I can't
Same thing here.
have it, I can't have it.
Bringing that 4.
So sweet, but I don't need.
Just a little bit of a lift right there. Same thing. That way, if we're already going to bring in a 4 or an every other 4, for the first hook, definitely maintain that on the second hook here, while then adding the stair step of your dynamics here is going to be the rest of the toms, right? It's going to be the cinematic drums, it's going to be the toms, so on and so on. The 4 will stay consistent from the first one, in my opinion. That way you still have it in there, and you just raise you raise the ante a little bit by just pushing the percussion, pushing the rest of the toms, and so on and so on.
I don't need it. Even when I look away, you're still right.
Nice harmonies.
I taste the fire, but I can't
Open that up. A little higher dynamic range, then we can pull back.
Single touch could break my heart.
This is where I want to really focus on dynamics, because what's happening, I think, just a little bit. This is Derek Bennett, producer Drew. This is Derek Bennett production, Derek Bennett music. What's happening here is we have this nice high production push, right? We end this hook with a lot of energy. There's obviously a really high dynamic right here. Then we go into the bridge here, what I'm assuming or perceiving as the bridge here. That's also really, really strong. And then we go into like another instrumental and then another hook, and it's all really strong. So this is where I want to be really tasteful with how we maintain the dynamics here. Based on the vocal register, thank you for the follow, y'all. Based on the vocal register, I feel like we should keep these dynamics really, really strong, because there's still they're way up there, right? They're at that high mixed voice and like high falsetto. They're really, really strong at the top of the range. And then some, like half the production kind of falls out from underneath it. I would maintain, if not amplify dynamics here maybe a little bit more, then cut back for a couple bars when you transition, and then strong hook at the very end. But here I would probably keep at least what you have in the hook. At least have like whatever you have in the hook, maintain that, if not amplify it a little bit, bring it a little bit more energy, and then we can shift dynamics after that potentially.
And make me let I still run, even when I look away. Single touch could break my heart.
Like I would keep those drums.
And make me lose all self-control.
Like keep all that boom, 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 right? I think everything stays the same. String pattern changes a bit. I think that's it. I'll double check. Yeah, it's just the drums in the middle. I think so here's what I would do, because I do think that we need to probably amplify, right? I think the only pattern that changes is how often the let me see Silex in the building. What's up, Silex? Welcome in, man. I hope you're doing amazing today. And thank you for the shares and the heart me as well. I appreciate it. I think the only thing is how often those cinematic drums are kind of replayed in there. That's the part where it empties out just a little bit. So what I would do is, going into this bridge, if you want to stair step up, which I think I would, make this, I mean, that's where the highest climax of the vocal is. If you want to amplify the dynamics here a little bit, which I think would probably be the best choice, just emotionally for this, would be to keep the cinematic drums and in fact, maybe go a little bit farther. So right now it's right? It's like very, very intermittent. You might want to have a more of a like have a little bit more of a consistent rhythm, maybe 4 on the floor, following your BPM, and then some filler in between with the cinematic drums and that snare, or maybe the snare paired with the cross stick or whatever you end up adding there. That's creating some of the ring early on. I think if you can fill that in a little bit more, this will feel like a step up from the hook, which means whatever transition happens next will probably feel a little bit stronger as well. Silex, what's up, man? Not I mean, I almost said not a whole lot, but also I've been slammed for the last like 5 days, so a lot. I've been redoing everything in here in the studio, so it's been fun, man. Chaotic, fun, stressful, all that good stuff.
I tell myself to
Okay, then we're going straight to hook. So this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Let me kind of hear what happens after this really quick.
turn around.
Wait, no, this is still bridge. I have an idea. What kind of access do you have to this vocal? This last 2 minutes of the song is going to be so vital dynamically. So. Yeah. You're picking up. You know my brain at this point. I think we drop the register an octave lower and we pull everything out, but like piano and pad. You know what I mean? Empty out everything, and then maybe even like maintain that riser, but keep it coming in later or something like that. So we go high hook, we go higher bridge, and then last little line of the bridge that you have that is still really, really strong, but it's pretty drawn up. There's a drop in there too. Let me go a little further.
I tell myself to turn around. Gotta get away.
I mean, I love the break there. And then strong hook. So here's what I'm thinking. Because there's a break, right? There's a break of get away. When she goes to the high vocal right there, we cut all the instrumentation. Beautiful. I love it. I'm a fan of that. That drop right there, that break that happens, I think is super dynamic. I love it. The only thing that I'm concerned about, loosely speaking, it's a great production. The thing that I'm concerned about loosely is high hook, higher bridge, higher post bridge kind of that happens right there again, and then high hook at the end, all the way for the last, looks like almost a minute at the end that we go from the hook right there. And we have a break in between right there. What I'm kind of curious about is if we pull everything down. So keep this up. Okay, so this is bridge, right?
I tell myself to turn
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of coming from the hook. That's the only thing I'm kind of running into here is I'm afraid it's going to be too big for too long, and we need a shift. So here's an idea. I'm gonna toss this out there. You know the deal. Feel free to ignore it. My idea would be to go straight from the hook here. All right, keep this strong. Beautiful, beautiful.
You look so sweet, but I don't need it.
You hear how often those cinematic, the doom, 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 there's a lot more, it's more populated there as far as the cinematic drums go.
I don't need it. Even when
So going into the bridge, I think what I would do to go from hook up is immediately start with the drums. I'm going to throw a little wrench in the system here just for fun, but I think what I would probably do, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I would probably go from your hook where it's at with the cinematic drums populating most of that right there. Then I would bring in your main drums when you come in with like the full groove that you only do on the last like 4 bars of the bridge. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate it. I would bring that into the whole bridge. So starting the bridge, you'd end the hook on a high note here, build up. You have a riser, cinematic drums come in. The bridge starts really, really strong. So the bridge is full drums, full groove, has the full expression of the dynamics there. And then when you get to this last little moment, which is I think where the drums actually come in, I would drop all the way back, right? So it's already really, really high because we already have that huge moment in the song. Bring it all the way down, lower octave for the vocal, and then last hook is super, super strong. Just more dramatic dynamic range to me is the thing. Otherwise, we have a break for 2 counts, right? We have a quick little notch that happens right there. But the vast majority of the last, like almost 2.5 minutes of the song, which is almost like an entire song, is at that peak dynamic range or very near it. Like the drums change, but at very near like peak dynamic range. So if as soon as the bridge starts, boom, there's drums, full drums right there. And then when you get here, let me see. And so as soon as that comes here, and then bring it all the way down to just let that be your drop. Boom. And then the last hook comes in really, really strong. Everything at 45 minutes per track. I'm going to bed. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. That is quite literally in the description of what we do. It's quite literally in the description of what we do. These breakdowns that we do per artist in the consultation side are 20 to 30 minutes a piece. So you got to go to bed, go to bed. Not a problem at all. I do not mind that 1 second. What's up, Time Mind? What's up? Good to see you, man. I appreciate you tapping into the stream. Yeah. If you're paying for a consultation, these are 20 to 30 minutes a piece. They're long, they're detailed. We go back through the song 2 or 3 different times, so on and so on. And that's going to be the same for every artist that's doing a consultation. All right, let's get into this last section here. But I would like drop here and go to the low octave and then build back up. Otherwise, again, the only thing you're going to have to, play around with it a little bit, see what you can do. Otherwise, you are going to have like 2.5 to 3 minutes of high dynamic range, and we're not getting that ebb and flow anymore, right? We get a pause for a second, but we don't get the ups and downs that we get in the first part, right? We do a great job of starting where it is. We open up that first hook a little bit. We come down for the first verse, build it up a little bit, so on and so on, right? There's a little bit more give and take. There's a little bit more dynamic range. And then once we hit second hook, it kind of never lets up. That's where I think we can have a little bit of movement there that would be really, really helpful. Rest of this production structure-wise, I think sounds fantastic. I don't think you need to really mess around with a whole lot. I think you've built out most of the structure really, really well, man. Y'all please show some love to Derek Bennett. Derek Bennett, you're crushing it, man. You know the deal. You're crushing it, man. It's a great vocal on there too. It's a really, really strong vocal performance. I can't wait to hear this mixed, obviously, because there's still a lot of this structure that is not, it's not mixed, right? And it's not completely finalized. But the vast majority of what I'm hearing sounds really, really engaging to listen to. It really, really does. Y'all show some love, man. Show some love. That's the family. Derek Bennett music. Playing with the idea. Now that I get what you. Yeah, 100%. I hope that made a little bit more sense. Again, as usual, it's just finding the most interesting way to like boost and pull your dynamics so that it doesn't feel, even if it's exciting, it doesn't stagnate there, right? That we don't, push the pedal to the metal and then it never lets up just because it's so hot right there. If you move drums up and drop that last section of the verse after the high note, you could even let it breathe for a second. Like if she goes, da, 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 and lets that ring for a second, you could let it settle for like a couple counts and then go into the C minor again, drop a lower octave, and then build it back up with some cinematic drums. You get the idea. Y'all show some love to the family, man. Stop yapping. No, this is what we do. Y'all stop telling me what to do. If you don't want to be here for what I do, go somewhere else. That is what we do. We yap. It's called track talk. We talk about tracks and we talk about them for like 30 minutes. Don't stop telling me what to do. All right, let's get into the next track. Speaking of, it is time for the next track. Ironically, you are correct. Okay. Have you ever heard Dirty Honey? I have not heard Dirty Honey. Keep in mind, y'all, like I just said to the last person, these are 20 to 30 minutes apiece. The whole point of these is that we yap on it. We get into it. We reinforce the ideas. We break down in detail. These are not fast reviews on this side. They're not fast reviews. On the free line, those are quick. On the free line, they're up to 2-minute spins and they move quickly. Stop, Shane. Don't do it. Don't do it. I shot a guy. Speaking of, Shane, you did it. God damn it. I shot a guy a message today. He was getting rid of a D50, a Roland D50 for $300. It's broken. And I tried to see if you would let me have it for some stuff in here. And he hasn't gotten back to me yet, but I hope he does, because man, I will fix that thing up. I'll just like replace the output. Anyways, is this shit only talking music, or can I suggest? It is, well, it's your music, so you can suggest music that is yours. So if you go to the link in my bio, you'll see a tab that says submit, and then you can submit your music there, either for the free line or for the paid consultations, which are long or detailed. We spend about 20 to 30 minutes a track on the consultation side. But yeah, we are. It is talking about it, but we will listen to your song a couple times if you are sending in your song. If you are rate Let's Play, that's not what we're doing, Henry. That's not what we're doing. We're not rating music, so on and so on. If you would like to submit your music for one of our lines, it is at the link in my bio. We got Shane Paul in the building. Let's get into it. This is Temple of the Blind. Rough mix, just want feedback on the song as a whole and maybe some advice on direction so I know how to proceed to the finished mix. Let's get it. You don't have to send your email. You do not have to. I specifically set it up so that it does not take your email. So you're good. Not clicking links in the modern age is hilarious. If that is the limitation, your stuff is long gone. If you are on the TikTok app, say goodbye to all of your data. It's gone. It's your email, your phone number, the pictures of your children, they're gone. They're gone. If you are on the TikTok app, you said goodbye to the closeness, the close ties to your personal data a long time ago. I don't care if you submit here whether or not. If you don't want to submit, 100%, I get it. It's valid. But don't let it be because of data. That ship has sailed a long time ago. All right, let's get into it. Don't let that be the reason. All right. Let's go, Shane. Let's go. That ship has sailed. Ooh, this is different. You seem so steady in your artifacts. This is different, Shane. Ooh. Yeah, you built this stage. 100%. We're past that. If you are on this live stream, sorry, that's not my fault. Dress up the lights in pretty white. We dance around the temple of the blind. And those flashing lights can never hide the Pharaoh king and just behind the hunger in your eyes. So thump your Bible with your pious heel. Yeah, strong riff. Stay silent in your highlight reel. Dress up the lights. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate it. We dance around the temple of the blind, and those flashing lights can never hide the Pharaoh king and just behind the hunger in your eyes. Yeah, of course, Anthony, 100%. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. Taylor, welcome in. Let's go. Y'all show some love to Shane Paul right here in the chat. That is an unreleased, unfinished, unmixed, rough demo that we got here from Shane Paul right here in the chat. Shane Paul, there are a couple chats above you, Taylor, but they'll hop in the chat here in a little bit as well. But that is Shane Paul. They got more music coming very, very soon. Let's dive into it. Also, forgot to keep the acoustic riff in the outro. I was literally just about to say that. I would love to reintroduce that riff again. It's such a strong lead riff. The bends are great. It's identifiable as a hook for the song, instrumentally as well as vocally. So definitely bring that back into play. To me, that's vital. I completely agree with what you forgot to do. Definitely get that riff back in the outro of the song. So structurally, you bookend it. It feels strong. It feels identifiable. And the first thing that they hear, what they hear intermittently, and what they hear at the end is a really identifiable part of the song. It's going to make it stick so much more. If y'all would like to submit your music, it is at the link in my bio. So if you want to submit either for the free line or for what we're doing right now, which are the paid consultations, these are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen deep dives. If you want to submit for those consultations, all of that is at the link in my bio. Start with the AI, and now I am transitioning to organic. My story deserves my voice. Nums, I love that. I think that's fire. That's amazing. Really, really, really cool. But let's get into it, man. Y'all show some love to Shane Paul. That's the family right there. Shane Paul's been here for years at this point, man. Love and appreciate what you do. Let's run it from the top. And let's get into some details here. This is Temple of the Blind by Shane Paul. Like that's a great riff. That should definitely be an identifiable portion of the song throughout, intro, intermittently, after your, first hook, so on and so on, and at the very end there too. That's such a great hook. I would love thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. As soon as drums come in, fantastic. I do think these drums, as you know, just some of the limitations of them, they do need support. I would love for you to immediately layer the guitar over the drums. The electric guitar, not just the acoustic. Go ahead and layer, even if it's a little bit over, not too fuzzy, not too overdriven, but just a little bit saturated. Another layer of the acoustic right there. So the whole mix feels like it wakes up a little bit and gets just a little bit more energy. Get a personal video from Torvik. No React offers available. Mr. Hardy, what are you talking about? I don't do personal video reactions. I actually have no clue what you're talking about. Get a personal video. No React offers available. Well, yeah. What, Mr. Harry? What are you referencing? I actually don't know what you're talking about. I don't do video reactions or React offers or whatever that is. Anyways, yeah, I just want to make sure I understand what you're talking about. Anyways, so right now, obviously, we go from acoustic riff to just drums coming in, but it's fairly dry right there. I think if you have the acoustic guitar, the link in my bio. There's no video reactions. You're just submitting your music, and it definitely works because I got 23 people online. It definitely works. So just don't click on video offers. Don't click on video offers. Just submit your music. Just submit your music if that's what you do. But yeah, there's no reactions in that sense, like video reactions or something like that. Okay, so right now we have the acoustic guitar riff. We layer in the drums right there, but it's just very, very dry, so the drums don't have their support. But I think if as soon as you add in the drums, we also add in the same riff on the electric guitar to kind of amplify it. You amplify it, give it a little bit more support, give it a little bit more energy. I think that will really, really wake up this intro. I mean, it's already a great intro. It's already a fantastic riff, but I do think if you can amplify it, you can bolster that hook a little bit more, it's going to be fantastic. It's such a good early riff. If you double up, especially if you bias the right side a little bit.
You seem so steady in your RFIs. Yeah, you built this stage with your good intentions, but you fell in love with your own reflection. And your words fall heavy when you talk like that. Dress up the lights in pretty white. We dance around the town.
And this is your hook, right? This is your hook.
Dress up the lights in pretty white. We dance around.
Link in my bio. Okay, cool.
Those flashing lights can never hide the Pharaoh king and just behind the hunger in your eyes.
Okay, so same thing. Now I'm going to back it up here just for a second. I would love to, again, just take this like one step forward, because the song structure as a whole, I really appreciate, man. It's a good riff. It's solid structure. It's consistent from moment to moment. You have good, clean, melody and hook structure here. So much of this is really, really well done. Glio, welcome in. Good to see you. Again, most of the structure I think is very polished. Going into this first hook right here, in order to create just a little bit more dynamic range, of course, Matsu, 100%. Any genre, any style, any language. In order to create a little bit more dynamic range, I would amplify this first hook just a hair more, maybe even just like 16th note tambourine or shaker here. That way it's more of a dynamic change when you go down to like just the like quarter notes here. Build it up. Dress up the lights in pretty white. Just give it like a little bit more of a and you can kind of respect a little bit of the swing in there still. Like you can still keep it a little bit held in as far as the swing goes right there. But I think a bit more of an energy shift right there will be helpful for when you come back out of it. It'll give you a little bit more range that way as well. Have you ever heard Algerian rapper songs? Maybe. We get a ton of different music from a ton of different places here. So it really just depends on what I remember. But I'm almost positive that we have. I have to send some roses. It's at the link in my bio, Matsu. Link in my bio. If anybody would like to submit their music, either for the free line or for the deep dives that we're doing now, that's the consultation side. All of that is at the link in my bio. But yeah, I think just having just record my beatbox tambourine right there. You'll be fine. To be honest with you, you can find like a splice loop or something really easy there if you needed to, just in the same BPM. If you need some swing, just take like every other hit, splice it, take every other hit, pull it off the grid a little bit, create a little bit of swing that way. It's pretty easy to do if you just bring in a sample. Or obviously you can try to record something yourself too, but there's easy ways to kind of affect it so it's not rigid, it's not on the grid, it's not all quantized. We can kind of open it up a little bit more. But that'd be one thing. Add a little bit of a shaker there. That way when you go back to boom, boom, when we go back to the breakdown going into the second verse, it's way more dramatic because we're going from 16th notes to like quarters. And we're going from like a higher dynamic range with everything in down to that breakdown again. I would personally, if it were me, I would still layer the guitar on the second part here too. So when you break it back down, this will be your drums. Just drop that into MIDI and have it split into MIDI and just see what happens. Okay. Okay, so here. Like I would still have another layer of the electric guitar matching that acoustic on these breakdowns, or a second acoustic or whatever you want to do, but have another layer. So again, we never bring it down to like two really simple pan biased, elements here where it's like simple VST drum or like electric drum, right? And then a guitar that biases left. We have a little bit of a split of maybe a mirror guitar that's happening, especially with like the Gretsch, the center block, like mirroring on the right side, maybe giving you a little bit more of a double track there simply with like, maybe with the neck pickup, get a little bit more low end in there or something like that. But anyways, I think the more you open that up, the more distinct that riff will become and the more dynamic range you'll have. All right, let's get into this like second hook onward here. What's a nice genre of music? I mostly listen to California Dreamin' by the Mamas and Papas. Nice genre of music. I mean, man, that's such a tough. People ask me about favorites and stuff all the time. That's tough. Link in bio. Same thing, second hook, bring in a shaker, bring in a 16th on a tambourine. So like make that a big part of your dynamics here. You open up to the ride, so from the closed hat to a ride. So that obviously is going to be a big change. Keep that really strong right there. Make sure there's still those 16th notes in there as well. Thank you for the follow. I love the tone. Love all this. It's great. Love the gang vocals. All the energy right here that's happening is fantastic. I love it. Especially for unmixed. hear how the dynamics shift without the gang vocals here. So same thing. Tambourine at the top of the mix, 16ths right there. Make sure the dynamics do jump here. Also, keep in mind we're going from like 18-inch crash to ride, right? So it's more pingy. So we're losing some wash, we're losing some turnover right there, as well as losing the gang vocals. So we're losing a lot of steam here because the guitars aren't as strong. We're losing a crash to a ride, and we're losing gang vocals to a much more simple stack. So keep that in mind when you get into this last hook. See if whether you don't have to keep doing the same things, but see if there's some ways we can amplify the dynamics here so it doesn't feel like we shrink down too much. Don't know music, welcome, man, good to see you. I just don't want I don't want the dynamics to shrink back too much. So whether we need to like stack those vocals more, there's gang vocals following a similar melody for all of the hook right there, interludes with the guitar, we keep the tambourine, of course, really strong, whatever it may be, right? We just need to keep those, or maybe you go from, the crash, and then you maintain the crash on the last hook instead of like an 18-inch crash on the last hook instead of going to the ride again to open it up. Obviously, those choices are yours, but just find a way in order to make sure that we are still maintaining the dynamic range that we had from that bridge. Otherwise, it takes a step back a little bit. Swan's in the building. We're back in the chat. Welcome in. Good to see you, Swan. Where do I put the track? Don't know. If you are on TikTok, no, not on TikTok. You're not on TikTok. You're on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, type _submit. Type !submit. The link will present itself to you, and you'll be able to drop your track in right there. Oh, this is great. A couple hours, Swan. Like, keep the crash. And maybe bring in a high lead, right? Because like right now, boom, 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 we're getting a little bit more breaks from a drier acoustic and rhythm guitar. Maybe just a high, like just following like a high lead at the top to glue everything together. It's one of the only other things, one of the reasons why I would maybe switch to the crash instead of the ride is to just glue this back together again. Because it all sounds good. Everything you have here, nothing wrong with it. Sounds good. But it could be nice to re-glue again. So one of your stair steps in dynamics could be a high lead that just kind of strums through on the one at the very, very top, and or open up the guitars, and or add a gang vocal, and or do, go to the crash, so on and so on. I think the more that you finesse this last hook, the more you'll be able to open up those dynamics just a bit. But honestly, man, one of my favorite structures from you. It's a strong bridge. It's very anthemic. It's got a ton of energy behind it. It's a distinct hook. You have a powerful riff, dynamic verses. Probably one of my sounds too CC, but yeah, I think if you can wake it up a little, grunge it up, dirty it up a little bit, wake it up a little bit. I think you can put some energy back into this production. I think you'll be in a good spot. One of my favorite productions from you, man. I think it's really well structured. Your tone is great. We just got to polish. We got to control dynamics a little bit better. Beyond that, man, it's well done. Same thing here. Bum 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 ba-da-dum. Bum 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 ba-da-da-dum. Right, we need to get back into that hook at the very end here. Layer that with the guitar as well as the electrics, as well as, maybe even the bass at the very end. Your last lick right here could be the bass following that same riff at the very end, which I think might be your acoustic, right? But same thing, pitch down, following that same riff to like have everything kind of lined up into that melody at the last hit, and then you're done. Something, you get the idea, man. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you so much. You all show some love to the family. Shane Paul in the building. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for sending that in. That is Temple of the Blind by Shane Paul. He's got music out. He's got more music coming, so definitely be along for the ride. Show some love. Make sure y'all follow Shane Paul, the family in the building. Let's keep it rolling. We got more music to get to. We got Jamie Kearney in the building, and we have a free line coming up here in a second. We got a free line coming up here in a second. We're going to dip there and dip out. So if you're in the free line, I need to make sure that y'all show up. Because if we spend the next 20 minutes going through the line of people in the free line that are not here, we're just going to move straight back to the other line. We won't waste a lot of time. So if you're in the free line, make sure that you're here. And if you would like to submit your music for the breakdowns that we're doing right now, you like these 20 to 30 minute multiple listen long form consultations, that is on the consultation side. All of that is at the link in my bio. Also though, make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live, repost, heart me, all that stuff. It does does really help out the stream quite a bit. And obviously, if one of your goals is that you get a little bit more exposure out of doing this, although it's not our priority, it can be a factor in why people submit. The more that you share and like and repost and stuff like that, the more likely you're going to get that. Jamie's in the building. Jamie, I see you on the right app right now. This is an update of the demo I sent you last week. We changed a lot. Wanted to get your thoughts on the update and see if you had any ideas of anything we could add or fix before we do the last bits and send it for mastering. Let's get in. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. This is Outtake by Jamie.
Which path do I choose? Which path win or lose? All it takes is a photograph to miss you. All this, that's a stake. Every second I waste.
Of course, sounds good. That's valid. Link in my bio if you want to submit.
Oh no, am I losing my grip, or is this another outtake? Oh no, have I shot the shit and missed, or is this another outbreak?
Yeah, this feels like a new song. I almost don't recognize
Sit
it.
up on your throne, just throw me a bone, putting out the fire in my places. Keep my head up high, won't let my love die. I see the light burn out of your faces. Oh no, am I losing my grip, or is this another outtake? Oh no,
So great.
have I
Retract, thank you for the gold
shot
populars, man. I
shit
appreciate
and
you.
missed,
I appreciate
or is
it.
this another outbreak? I feel like I'm on the right track. I won't slow down.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm hearing. Maybe that's what I'm hearing, Jamie. Kill the happiness from it. It's like, man, this feels different.
I won't slow down. I won't look back.
Jamie, submit the old one to the free line really quick. Submit the old one to the free line. I gotta see where this went really quick.
Slow down. I won't look back. I feel like I'm on the right track. I won't slow down. I won't look. Oh no, am I?
No, released or unreleased. Any style, any genre, any level of quality.
Another outtake.
Most people send unreleased because they use this kind of as a final stop before sending to engineering or whatever it may be. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Another outbreak. Oh no, am I losing my grip?
This is a very different feel. I want to hear the other one.
Another outtake.
Is it slower quite a bit as well? Y'all show some love, man. Show some love to Jamie Kearney. Yeah, Jamie, send in the last one into the free line. I want to reference them back and forth. I just want to see kind of what it was. I'm very, very curious. So send it to the free line and I'll pull it up. Yeah. Try to pull it up, and then I'll give it a second actually, because I do want to hear something just before we get into it. I want to see just where the vision by about 9 BPM. Okay, that's what I'm hearing too. Angel, it's at the link in my bio. Yeah, if you're on TikTok specifically right now and you would like to submit your music for what we're doing here, which are the consultations, you can do so at the link in my bio. They're about 20 to 30 minutes a piece when we get into your song, if you're on the consultation side specifically. We'll listen to your track multiple times, usually 2 or 3 different times, and really get into the details of mix, production, sound design, lyric and song formatting, so on and so on. Slowed it down by about 9 p.m. Okay, yeah. Let me know when it's sent in. And then I'll Boom. All right. Okay. I just want to hear this real quick. This is not for popular artists, y'all. This is read the yellow text, not for popular artists. Okay.
Which path do I choose? Which path win or lose? All it takes is a photograph.
What's up, Caleb? Welcome in.
You.
Sounds good.
All this that's at stake. Every second I waste is a time enough.
Yeah. Very different. Now, I will say from a musical structure cohesion standpoint, if will, from just like the way that all fits together. I think we talked about brushes last time. We talked about some production changes, but when it comes to, thank you for the heart, man, Caleb, appreciate it. When it comes to like the structure of that production, I do feel like it fits together in a way that is a little bit more cohesive. So I think we're going to need to do some balancing here to really get to this, get this one to a place where it's working together a little bit more seamlessly than the last one did. That last one felt a little bit more connected. I think in the direction that it was going. So that's where I want to dig into this just a little bit. Tep is in a building. What's up, Tep? Good to see you, legend. All right, let me go to version 2 here. We're going to go back to the updated one. So like here, what I would probably do is have multiple layers of this, just came back from my wedding anniversary dinner. Let's go. Happy anniversary, Tefno. Happy anniversary to both of y'all. We love you, man. We love you. That's amazing, man. Congrats. How many years? So you have this, 7 years. Shout out to 7 years, man. That's amazing. I would amplify this right here, right? So this, right? That little melody in the background right here, maybe like double track it, maybe have a low octave underneath it, right? It just needs a little bit of support. The only thing that I'm noticing now that I think because you had a deeper like hollow body tone on the last one with a bunch of like, maybe room reverb on it and it was filling out a little bit more, it felt a little bit more complete. It filled a lot more space. So in this particular song, right, like I don't mind the tone of the guitar. I think it sounds great, but I would definitely give it some support because right now I think it just feels a little empty. It feels like it's missing something to help kind of connect it to the rest of the production here. So. Like maybe even the,
Which path do I choose? Which path win or lose?
like maybe even like just the octaves on the piano there or another octave on the guitar when you started out just having the let that ring, like a really consistent hook. And it's like a really consistent, like repetitive hook right there. This makes it like simple and calm and repetitive. Something like that I think is like a little bit more distinct and a little bit sharp with that guitar, whether it's a piano with it, a low octave with it, like another layer of the guitar, double tracked with some chorus or whatever it may be. I think a little bit more confident, a little bit more intentional with the melody because that is your lead line, right? Until the vocal comes in, that is like your lead, that's your instrumental hook right there. So I think the more like sharp and consistent and effective that is, the better.
Which path do I choose? Which path win or lose? All it takes.
And I would maybe, again, I don't want to throw too many wrenches in your system here. So take all this with a massive grain of salt. Okay, sounds good, Zach. Sounds good, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. I was thinking all three of the little solo parts could do some work, so this would be a good direction. Yeah, 100%. So what I would do is, again, look for the repetition. Right now, I'm going to play it again real quick. It's a little disconnected and a little inconsistent. So if we start here. I would love for that to feel even more consistent. I think a better repetition would help, right? So if you have and then back, See how that kind of rolls a little bit? It loops, and then again. Having like that loop right there that's like super consistent. You learn that one riff, you get great at that one riff, you memorize it, it's sharp and it's consistent, you layer it, and you do that after the first hook. You know, so you do that at the intro, you do a verse and then a hook. After the hook, you do it again, you do it in the outro. Kind of like we were talking about with the last song we were hearing, where you bookend it with some of those riffs. It makes it really sharp, really consistent. That will definitely help. That way it feels all tied together, feels really, really consistent. And then on this verse here, the bass to me throws me off just a little bit because it feels full, but also really simple and kind of weak as far as where the production is moving. I would maybe take out the bass here and just do like a good, clean, loud, like double tracked or really forward, really prominent acoustic guitar right here. Your acoustic guitar is definitely going to be one of the drivers of the song. So don't be afraid of having it loud. Don't be afraid of having it, double tracked and nice and wide. That should be one of the main cornerstones of this mix. So definitely make sure that that is something that sits a little bit more forward. I would almost not bring in the bass until maybe like B section of the verse or a pre-chorus or even the chorus. I think starting a little bit simpler and maybe having an intro where it's acoustic guitars, maybe electric guitar riff, and then we come back down to just acoustics with your vocal for a second, and then maybe bass slides in going into the, the second half of the verse, or maybe even like the pre-hook or the hook after that.
Photograph to miss you.
But I don't think we need more powerful bass right here early on.
All this, that's a stake. Every second I waste, there's a time enough to cauterize.
In my personal opinion, at least.
Wounds. Oh no, am I losing my grip, or is this?
Yeah, don't be afraid to push those acoustics forward like 4 or 5 dB. Everything is kind of really far back outside of like the vocal, like vocal and bass maybe. Vocal and bass are fairly forward, but everything else is pretty far back. I really think the acoustics should be a primary element here, right? So the slides are great. Vocal layers are great. I love the tone. Brady Matthews, welcome in. I love the tone. I love the layers. I think the harmonies are great. Those oohs and ahs are fantastic. A lot of what we're hearing here I think sounds really good. But I want strong acoustics. I want, strong percussion and bass, and of course a good clean lead vocal, and that will all kind of even itself out.
Another outtake.
And again, if y'all are mixing all of this yourselves too, and then it's only going to be sent to mastering, like if y'all are mixing, you're doing all the mix details and then going to mastering, definitely double check your compression settings. There's a couple different times in the song where the vocal gets substantially louder in the mix by a good 4 or 5 dB, and then it kind of gets quieter again and gets really loud again. So double check your compression settings. That way it's catching some of those peaks, it's controlling some of your dynamic range and making that vocal a little bit smoother and a little bit more even across the board. That way it sounds more consistent, more cohesive, especially as you start building other dynamics. Because once you, what you should do, like once you boost the acoustics and you open it up just a little bit more, you're also going to lose the lower end of that vocal. And so I want to make sure that we maintain its prominence, we maintain some of its energy in the mix.
Oh no, have I shot the shit and missed, or is there?
Yeah, the acoustic's going to be a big driving factor here. Push that forward quite a bit. Like probably acoustic and drums. And then interlude here, I would go straight back to riff. Again, that is your secondary hook. You have the, oh no, right? That's your initial vocal hook. But then you have a instrumental hook, and the instrumental hook is that melody. So as soon as you finish this chorus, go straight back into guitar and piano / whatever, whatever you're going to end up doing there. Go straight back into that riff right there. So it's really, really consistent. So as soon as you go here.
Another outbreak.
3, 4. Back with the slide right there, and then maybe second verse right away. But that's your core right there. That's going to make it more of a song. It's going to be better structured. It's going to be more regimented.
Fire in my places. Keep my head up high.
Again, strong acoustics here. Support the drums a little better.
Burn out of your faces.
Better control on the vocal as far as dynamics.
Oh no, am I losing my grip, or is
that's where you start to hear that vocal push forward a little bit. Again, a little bit better threshold range on that vocal, so it's really, really consistent without being too rigid. Just a little bit better control. So you're doing Oh no, right? It doesn't feel like it's jumping out of the mix, but it feels a little bit more polished, a little bit more consistent. It doesn't cut in too harsh or fall out too harsh. All right, let's skip forward here a little bit.
Another outbreak.
And then same thing here. I would bring back the riff again. I mean, it sounds silly. You can still have like an interlude here. If you're doing more of a solo? Yeah, if you're gonna do a solo, bias towards a solo, don't do the riff necessarily here, but just push that guitar forward, make sure it's nice and loud with the acoustics, with the drums. Yeah, bias towards the solo there, make it strong.
The right track. I won't slow down, I won't look back. I feel like I'm on the...
Let me hear this again. I would probably cut bass again here, right? If the bass is there the whole time, you're going to lose some dynamic range because the bass is always keeping us up here. And we want it to be allowed to come down here a little bit as well. But the bass is keeping us up here the whole time. From the first verse to the interludes right here, maybe take out the bass on this first section here until the drums come back in and you start building a little bit more. Maybe just go acoustic guitars and the electric for a second. Like just start to slowly build that in. Once the drums come back in with the kick a little bit stronger after that, like kick and snare, then we can kind of bring the bass back in right there. And it feels like there's more stair steps, right? It doesn't feel like we're going kind of all the way up here to up a little higher and then back down to here, but we never quite settle a lot of the dynamic range here.
I feel like I'm on the right track. I won't slow
Just like
down.
Nice, like loud single strum.
Look back.
Bass comes in here, maybe.
I feel like I'm on the right track. I won't slow down.
Build up.
I won't look back. I feel like I'm on the right track.
If we can get a harmony in there, that would be amazing, like a third note.
Slow down. I won't look back. I feel like I'm on the right track. I won't slow down. I won't look back.
Like if we can start to start to stair step so that we're keeping some engagement here. The last thing I want to happen, as we talk about oftentimes in a lot of these songs, is just, in anyone's songs, is that we just maintain information, right? Like we keep adding new information. We keep bumping the dynamics and bringing them back down and bumping them up. So it feels interesting. It feels engaging to listen to. I think even just the Notorious TOR, even just these little elements of like, we cut the bass for a second so it gets lower. We add the bass with the drums. Once we add the bass with the drums, we add the vocals. Once the vocals are in, we add the harmonies. We add a third note there. And then we build up to the hook again. And the hook is nice and strong. Acoustics are loud. Drums are strong, right? I think the more that we can kind of manipulate these dynamics, the more interesting the song is going to feel. Because you have a good voice. I like your tone. Your songwriting is always really good. Your song structure is always really good. So for me, this is going to come down to balance, of course. It's going to come down to balancing a lot of these different elements and making sure that, the guitars as a main element aren't too far back. Same with drums and vocal, of course, and, better control over those vocals. But I want to make sure those are balanced well. And then I want to make sure that we push and pull enough energy in the song that it stays really, informative. It stays really engaging to listen to. Let me hear the outro here really quick. I do want to bring back that hook or that instrumental hook one more time if we can. So let me hear it. So we have a double hook. I guess we don't need it. It's time. Warm up, Daniel. Yeah, I guess we don't need another instrumental hook there. We don't necessarily need another one. I do really like this. Well, what you could do is just layer it over the last hook, right? Just layer it here. You can kind of bring it here as an interlude,
Oh no, have I shot the shit I missed, or is this another outbreak?
There's almost like a counter melody. You know, you're starting with your melody and then countering it right after, right? Just having a little bit more of that in there, bringing back that melody again only on your last hook, and then you empty out for the really, really low elements at the very end. I think would be really nice. But y'all show some love. Jamie Kearney in the building. Jamie and Daniel, y'all are awesome, man. Very, very, very talented. Y'all know what you're doing. Y'all are doing a fantastic job of building the elements of your music. But for me, it's just going to come down to balance. It's going to come down to dynamic range and control over that, so on and so on. I think y'all are doing a fantastic job, though. So y'all please show some love. We got Jamie Kearney in the building. Go over on the Red app right now, man. I appreciate you so much. Y'all are amazing. Let's keep the music going. I was gonna go to sleep, but I guess I have some mixing to do. Hey, there's always tomorrow. Give it a fresh year. Give it a fresh year. I have to do that all the time, even just like with client projects, where it's like I've been working at something for 7 hours on a day or whatever it may be, whatever the session is. I've got to give it a day or give it a couple days. You know what I mean? Where I've got to freshen up the ears and let it, you know, remove it from my memory for a couple days and get back into it so it's fresh and it feels sharp. Really quick, if you would like to submit your music, it is at the link in my bio. I appreciate y'all so much for submitting. I will close up the line here in the next couple songs, but we are going to keep it rolling. Slowly getting nervous. If you like the chorus melody, I'm excited, Anima. I'm excited. We got Logan in the building. Let me just double check a few things here. Make sure that I'm caught up here. Luvi, I got you. Let's see. Dogs, I got you as well. Thanks for tapping in. Zach, I see you. Alan, I see you. Retrack, Anima, and Logan's in the building. Let's run it. Blind Temptress, thank you so much for the follow. If you would like to submit your music for the consultations that we're getting into, that is all at the link in my bio. It's all at the link in my bio. We are going to we're going to dip into the free line just for a second. So whoever's the top here that is here, we are going to listen to it. I'm looking for a call to action. We're going to dip into the free and we're jumping straight back in. This will take 2 minutes. Call to action. Let me know if you are in the building. This is why it pays to stick around for a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't see him. Let's see. Tix. Got you, Lou. I got you. I appreciate you so much. Zach, I see you. There's Tix here. I'll give 3 chances. 3 chances. I don't see Tix. Citadel. Is Citadel here? If not, we're moving back in. Dogs, I see you. You're in line. I got you. I don't see them either. All right, we're back. We got Logan in the building. Logan, hop in the chat. Logan, let me know. Corey, are you one of the ones that I just listed? Let me know. We gotta move quick. Okay, no worries. All right, let's get into it. We got Logan in the building. Let me know where Logan's at. Is that you, the real? That's you? Logan Class? Aveline? Just so I make sure, because I know it's a different name. I just want to make sure. Okay, so in the consultation line, I have Logan, I have Anima, Retrack, Alan, Zek, Dogs, and Luvi. Yeah. I got you. Feed. I got feed. Perfect. All right, let's get it, man. Let's get it. We got Logan in the building. This is Aveline by Logan Class. I just want some feedback on it being as it's my first release. That'd be awesome. Okay, so this song that we are about to listen to is out on all platforms. That means I need y'all to show some love and support. I need y'all to go stream it, go like it, go add it to your playlist, show them some love and support. Let's dive in, man. This is Logan Class, Aveline. It's pulling up on Spotify right now, so give me just one moment here. Quick reminder, if you want to submit, it's at the link in my bio. That is also where you can check the queue. If you want to see where you're at, decide if you want to skip or move faster or move forward or anything like that, it's all there. Logan, give me some details, man. Talk to me about production. Talk to me about mix. Talk to me about what I usually tell people is the role that you play in your music, right? Because that's different for everyone. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. So talk to me about the role that you play in your music as far as the production that I'm hearing, vocals, who's mixing, producing, things like that. Let's get it. Aveline by Logan Class. Already sounds like a fairly professional setup. Yeah, it's clean. Good slide work.
I had had a dream about you last night, girl that I don't know. I've seen you times a many, but I've never walked on over to ask you for your name.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. It sounds like a Nashville mix. Sounds like a Nashville mix. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. There's a lot of professionals in Nashville. Hell yeah, let's go. I like it. Good voice. Did they mix it as well? That producer?
One I call my own. It felt so real and present that it chills me to the bone. I thought maybe I could find a way to find
Very
you
cool.
whilst I was awake, but I know you live so far away. You wouldn't give me your time of day. I wonder what you'd have to say.
Okay, cool. So one person produced it, another mix and master.
I need to see your beauty gleam. Walk until my shoes are worn, both my 2 feet bleed in Abilene. I need to hold you here tonight. Well, I don't care that I don't know you. This feeling is so right. Oh, so right.
Okay, tempo change. Let's go.
I wonder if you feel it too. Does it give you subtle signs? I haven't seen you in some months now, but you worked your way into my mind. Well, I thought it to be my thinking, but the dream was just so vivid. When I woke, it was like goodbye, and I got
What's up,
my
Eris?
mind spinning. Abilene, I need to see your beauty gleam. Walk until my shoes are warm, both my 2 feet bleed.
Nice.
In Abilene, I need to hold you here tonight. Well, I don't care.
Stuff on top right now. I called the name for 3 in the free and they weren't here. We'll do that again here in a second. It's always top to bottom. How you doing, Eris? Good to see you. Link in my bio if y'all want to submit.
Last night, girl that I don't know. I've seen you times a many, but I've never walked on over.
Let's go.
To ask you
Sorry, Jaded
for
Sick,
your
though,
name,
man.
though I've heard it through the vine.
Love the bass.
Beauty that you carry, well, it is so divine.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Y'all, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is the family right here. Iron Man, don't spam the chat. If you get to spam the chat, you will get muted. I don't want you to get muted. So make sure that you go to the link in my bio if you want to submit your music. If you make music, you're connected to music in some way, that is what this is for. So don't spam the chat. Definitely make sure that you go to the link in my bio and submit there. How do you get mixed clients? I largely word of mouth. Largely word of mouth. So I've been working full time in music for years and years and years and years. And it's word of mouth. It's making a good product, but I also do a lot of different things. And I talk about it. I show people, right? It's like anything out there, right? The reason why people buy anything that people buy, whether it's a service or whether it's a product, or it's entertainment, is because they've seen it or they've heard about it, right? So if people are not seeing you or hearing about you, then you're not going to get clients, right? So that'd be my bullet point, right? Is the reason why that I get clients is because people see me. Here I am right here. People see me and they hear about me, right? And so whether that's from clients that I've worked with, whether it's social media, I tell people all the time, I have multiple facets to my business. We're about to get back into Logan's track here in a second, but multiple facets to my business. So I mix and master as far as, being an audio engineer. I do a lot of production work, so full scale production. And then I do a lot of session work as well. So people hire me as a session musician. I track live drums, electric, acoustic, bass guitars, synths, analog keys, hardware stuff, whatever, vocals for libraries and things of that nature. So I do a lot of different things. And the way that I get clients doing any of that is because I show people, right? So almost every single time, right, that I post a video of me playing a synth, right? Almost every single time that I post a video of me like playing the Juno 106 or something like that, I get a DM from someone be like, dude, I've got a synth pop record I'm working on. I would love for you to play synths on it. And then they hire me for that, right? And so I think that's what I would encourage anybody that wants to make money in music in any capacity, right? Whether you're an artist and you want people to stream your music, or you want people to hire you to play guitar. You want, if you're a guitarist, if you're a pretty good guitarist, good enough to be a session player, if you're a drummer, you're a bassist, you're a vocalist, whatever, then you need to tell people that you do it. Like it's a saturated as hell world out there, man. So it's like, if you want people to hire you, want to make money doing what you're doing, then people need to see what you do. If you asked about mixing, of course. So if you want people to pay you money, real money, hard-earned money, hard-earned cash, right? For your engineering, when there is probably a million people out there that call them a million people that call themselves engineers out there. If you want people to pay you specifically for it, then you better show that you can do it, right? You got to build trust. You know what I mean? You got to build trust. You got to build credibility. And that credibility doesn't just mean that you have credits, right? There's a lot of people out there that don't have major credits, that aren't, connected to a major studio or a major label. They're not in LA or Atlanta or New York or Miami or wherever. And they're just good at what they do. They've done it for a long period of time. They have a lot of word of mouth, and they are oftentimes getting paid more consistently than people that are in the majors, just because they continue to work consistently and they show people what they do. So anyways, that's my bullet point answers there. Show people what you do. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Money isn't that important too. If I make money, I make money, but if I don't, I don't. Yeah, it's different for everyone. Yeah, of course. I appreciate the question. Manifest is an ability. What's up, Manifesto? Welcome in. Phantom, I appreciate you being here. Luvi, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, obviously it's going to be different for everyone, right? So like music is my business, so I do care if I make money, because if I don't make money, we don't eat. So that that's a big part of it, right? For someone else, like I know people who are doctors and they do music on the side, right? I know people that they work at car dealerships, they work in sales, they're accountants, right? They clean homes, they're doing whatever. Like I know people from all different walks of life doing all different kinds of things, and they just like music. They enjoy music. Maybe they would love to do it full time, but it's a very small part about what they actually do day to day. So whether or not it makes money is not a high priority for them. Whether or not they get clients, or whether or not they're getting sessions, or whatever it may be, or they're getting streams. If it doesn't happen, they're still just going to do their job. If it does happen, then that's really, really cool, right? But if it is your job, you better make money, right? Like if your full-time job is who don't get it, have a portfolio. Yeah, 100%, man. If for those of you who make money in music, you better be getting your next client, right? That's got to be a priority. Otherwise, you're not going to eat. You got to put a roof over your head, right? And so if you want to make money in music, you got to show people what you do. Yeah, 100%. Okay. We have a Discord now. Manifest, we've had a Discord for years, man. Scott, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot too. Yeah. Yeah, we've manifested. We've had a Discord for years. I'm just not super active in it right now. I just don't have capacity. If y'all have capacity to hang out over there, please do. I just have not had a whole lot of capacity to hang out over there lately. I've been going crazy over here. Manifest is good to see you, by the way. Good to see you in here. Let's get it, man. Logan, let's run it from the top. I want to talk about a couple song structure things and a couple melodic things in here. But you obviously have a good writing ability. You have a good voice. It's a fantastic production. This is a very like clean, modern country, Nashville mix and Nashville production. I think as far as like the structure of this, I think it's fantastic. I love the tempo changes, so on and so on. I just saw you DM on Discord. Wait, right now? You saw me DM on Discord. Shoot, I don't. Oh, not you. Oh, just like the automatic stream or whatever. Oh, don't know. I was like, well, hold on one second. I was like, hold on. What are we talking about? Okay, killer. Let's go. All right, let's run it from the top, band. This is Aveline by Logan Class. Let's run it. Let's go. I love the tempo changes, though. I love the movements here. That's great.
about you last night, girl that I don't know. I've seen you times a many, but I've never walked on over to ask you for your name. Though I've heard it through the vine, the beauty that you carry,
Good voice, man.
it is so divine. In that dream you were my lady, the one I'd call my own. It felt so real and present that
It's smooth.
it chills me to the bone. I thought maybe
Nice tremolos in the
I'd
strings.
find
Like, it's a really nice dynamic build right here. This is beautiful, man. It's really well done. Especially on the production side. It's really clean. I feel like it's super produced. I want to do a more acoustic song next time. Okay, I feel that. There is one thing I want to say on the vocals here too. I would be really decisive on your end. And I think this is where a lot of people who hire people to do the rest of their stuff, which is valid. It's part of my job, obviously. But when you're hiring, you're outsourcing engineering, production, and stuff like that. I don't know if you're doing this, but I just know that it's like the vast majority of people that have come to me. They tend to feel the need to outsource a lot of like the stylistic decisions. The more distinct and the more secure and intentional you are with exactly what you want to hear out of your song. And then, of course, trusting and working with a great producer is going to be helpful. But the more you're like, I want this sound, I want this kind of processing on my vocal. Here's a reference. I want this happening here. The more you are in control, because you're not working with a band. You're not working, I mean, well, you are in the studio context, but you're not a full band doing all this, right? And you don't have a bunch of feedback back and forth. You don't have most likely like hired vocal coaches and vocal producers and tandem with the studio and producer that you're working with, right? If you don't have all those things in place, then you are all of those people, right? You got to fill all of those voids. And so it's really important that you're very hyper aware of like the decisions that are happening and what you're doing, and why it's happening in the song. If you're working on your own, it is really, really important that you start to learn the language behind what's going on in your music. That way, you know how to request revision, you know how to make edits and stuff like that. I never got to talk to the engineer. It wasn't my choice. I went back home, which was 1,200 miles. Okay, I definitely spend more time there next time, 100%. And so another thing though is, you go to Nashville, you track, you produce, you head home, right? And they send you a mix down, right? They send you a mix. If you are really, really clear on like, actually, this vocal feels overproduced to me, or this feels like too bright or whatever, if you have the tools to understand that and have some language to offer it, then you can absolutely, depending on the engineer that you're working with, most good engineers should offer revisions. The best engineers that I know offer them for free. It's very, very rare, unless people are worried about, unless you're worried about their doing. I don't know how to say this without sounding annoying, but most of the engineers that I know that are charging right off the bat for revision after revision, especially good money for those revisions, do that because they don't feel like they can get it right. And so they're making sure that they still get paid when they're not getting it right. Until they want like 45. Yeah. But so here's the thing. I have never in the history, I've been engineering for 14, 15 years, worked in studio, so on and so on, right? I have never in my 14, 15 years of engineering, have I ever gotten paid for a revision. And I have also never, ever gone past 4 revisions, 4 or 5. Like I think we did like a 5th revision where I like tweaked a background vocal and like pushed them forward by like 2 dB, right? Just so the background is a little bit more full. I've never charged for revisions, and I've always had unlimited free revisions and never gone past 4 or 5, right? Because I make sure that we get the record right, and I also communicate well with the clients. If the communication with the client is unclear, then we'll talk about that. Be like, hey, I'm not getting what you're talking about. Let's hop on a call. Let's walk through it. I'll even do it while you're on the call. I'll shoot you the song right after. I'll get it back, and we'll make sure that we're good. It is very, very rare that it goes past that, right? So I think if you are getting into a place, your mixes probably start around 300 plus. Yeah. Most are around 400. Most around 400 for a mix and master. And so if you're in a place where you are not able to get revisions, or you're going to 40 revisions, then if you're going past a couple revisions, it's a communication error more than it is a skill error. Okay. Maybe some of it is the ability to execute on those revisions, but most often it's a communication error. We're not speaking when they're like, I want the vocal louder. They don't know what that means. And what they mean is they don't want the vocal louder. They just want better clarity. They want it to fit into the mix in a way where it's not bumping into everything else, but they don't know that. So there's got to be a gap of communication that you have to kind of get past. Anyways, that's a side note. My producer was middleman and I kind of let him decide, to be honest. And that's fair, especially when you're earlier on. Like I mentioned before, if you're earlier on, you're going to outsource more of that, right? What my goal is for you and anyone through this live stream and through just your chipping away at your process as as an engineer, as a producer, as an artist, in this case, a musician, is that you gain the tools, the skills, and the language to be more confident with those decisions. When you get something back, you're like, I had a vision for this. This doesn't quite match it. Let's go for this. So that's one of the things I want you to focus on. If you want a more acoustic or more natural mix and stuff like that, having language for how to communicate that to the engineer is a superpower as an artist. All of the best artists in the world have that, right? And I'm not just saying like charts or whatever. I just mean like great musicians, great artists. Some of the best vocalists in the world are also the best vocal producers. Yes, they're working with an engineer who's getting paid $10,000 a mix in order to fix the song at the end of the day and like polish it and so on and run it through what they're running it through. But some of the best vocalists, best session musicians, best producers and so on also really, really understand the language behind it. That's a side note. That's a very, very side tangent here. One of the things that I would love, one of the things that I would love, any advice towards starting artist management? No, I'm not an artist management or necessarily even encourage people to get artist management. That is a different world. It's not necessarily, I don't manage any artist in any capacity. I just work with them as a service. But I'm not the person to go to talk about artist management. And I don't even necessarily like encourage people to have that unless it really, really, really makes sense for them. For data mix makes sense for known artists, for new ones, not so much. Yeah, 100%. I mean, here's the thing, Anima, when it comes to like paying for mixes, right? Is I encourage everyone to at least get one fantastic mix. Right. And fantastic being probably $400 to $800. Now you can go way more expensive for mixes and you can go $25 for mixes. There's people that do it at all price points. I encourage any artist that's doing it themselves, get one really, really good mix. Get one fantastic mix that is professional and polished and use that as a reference for what is possible with your productions, what is possible with your vocal. Communicate well with the engineer, go back and forth, learn about the process, whatever it may be. I encourage people to get one. Get one. You don't have to spend $400 a mix every single mix. If you don't have the capacity to do that, I would never encourage you to do so. But I do think that it can be really, really beneficial because sometimes you just don't even know how far you are. You don't know how close you are on certain processes. You don't know what your voice can even sound like mixed well, so you don't know how to reference it. You're like, I think I want to sound like Post Malone, and I think my voice is similar. People say that, but you actually don't even necessarily know what your voice mixed well, what it actually, how it actually presents itself in a good quality mix. So I would encourage people, get one. You don't have to do it every time. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars a year on mixes. Most people don't. The vast majority of people don't, especially if you're doing stuff for yourself, if you're mixing for yourself. But I do encourage people doing it once. Right now I'm asking my friend for $50 for a mix because I really don't love the mixing aspect of music and while it's still better than 100%. I know people that mix for $25, $50, $100, $500. I know people that mix for multiple thousands of dollars. It's all there is a budget for everyone when it comes to mixing. So don't feel bad. There's people that are wanting to start. I know when I first started engineering, I mixed for free. I mixed for free for points. I would be like, hey, give me 10% of the record, whatever, and I'll mix the whole song for free. And I'll just, started getting started with like early artists and stuff. There's a budget for everyone. There's a budget for everyone out there. Okay. One of the things here really quick, Logan, I'm losing track, but one of the things, and the one that was isn't even better. I mean, yeah, better is so subjective. It depends on if it's respecting your goal for the record. You know what I'm talking about. These earlier parts of the vocal here, what I would love to hear more of is manual control over the vocal, manual tuning of the vocal, bias towards that as opposed to auto-tune to correct. There's two things happening. One is, like you said, you wanted it maybe more natural, maybe more acoustic sounding on some of the production, maybe even on the vocal itself as well. Part of that is because auto-tune is grabbing some notes that are in between. And so there's a couple notes where maybe your raw vocal, like maybe the natural raw vocal was at like 40 cents, 60 cents kind of in the middle right here. And occasionally auto-tune try to correct up and then drop down. And it kind of barely pushes into it. So what's happening is and even though it's more auto-tuned, because you hear the auto-tune happening, what's happening is the auto-tune's more obvious. It's less transparent because you hear it making corrections. And so you're actually hearing more of that processing in your vocal. It sounds much less natural, even though it's corrected then. What I would love to do is, even if you don't auto-tune at all, that we manually correct. You ran it through something like Melodyne. Now, what I would do in Melodyne here is, in my opinion, is they would just have to chop more. You'd have to chop more. So I'll show you here real quick. Because there's a couple times where you hear the vocal overshoot it and it's carried by the slap delay. It's carried by this like spring reverb in the back and stuff like that. It overshoots the vocal and then it's corrected down. But what you then have to do is, if there's more pockets, if there's more notches in that vocal where like maybe this note that was like this got corrected down to this, but this part of the note right here is still trying to pull auto-tune up this way, they need to chop it and notch it back down so that it resettles back into that note, and that note is nice and smooth all the way across the board. Dan, thank you for the Go Populars, man. And thank you so much for the gifts and the heart me. I appreciate you so much, brother. Hope you're doing fantastic. Good to see you, man. But that's what they're going to have to do so that those notes don't overshoot, right? Because even if, again, like if there's a note that's kind of sitting like this in Melodyne and they drop the blob down, right here, and it drops in, but half of that note's still overshooting, they're going to have to recorrect. Now, you'll hear it happen a couple times here. I'll show you. It's subtle, but it makes a difference in how transparent and polished the vocal is, because it might be melodined and then auto-tuned, but we're relying heavier on the auto-tune since some of the corrections in Melodyne aren't complete. Yeah, you can hear it. And and what'll make it more frustrating to you is it being carried by processing, right? So the note overshoots, so it sounds sharp, even though it's melodined and auto-tuned and all this stuff, right? It's a very, very processed, like you said, it's a very processed vocal. But what's happening is it's very processed, so you don't like that. And even with all of its processing that you already don't like, you're still overshooting notes and it still sounds sharp. so you're like, man, like I'm already going to Nashville. I'm already paying for all this stuff. I'm already getting this done, and I still feel like I'm overshooting some stuff. Sundry, I appreciate you, man. I love Sundry. Y'all go follow Sundry. Sundry's got a dope synth setup. Sundry's got a sick setup. I love your stuff, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. And so what you'll hear is it overshoots it a little bit. So if we can chop and bring it back in line, you'll hear all of that smooth out. But like I said, it's being carried by the processing. So it'll overshoot for a second. And then that last note that was overshot, that is still a little bit sharp, then lasts for 3 seconds with a spring reverb and a slap delay at the very end of those lines, right? And so it carries the mistake. It carries the sharp note for the next second or couple seconds, right? Depending on the process. So that's what you're hearing a little bit at the end right there as well. Okay. We're going to have a fire team. What am I missing, Eris? What am I missing? Sorry. Okay, let me get into this here real quick. Yeah, I feel that. 100%. And this way, you won't even need any of the auto-tune if you don't want it.
I had a dream about you last night.
You hear it like bump up. It's like it comes up for a second because it's here, right? It comes up for a second last night. And you hear it modulate in pitch, and the auto-tune's grabbing it and like notching it back down. And they brought this, there's a blob like this, right? And they brought it down into line. So most of this is right here, but they needed to chop and resettle it, right? So it's those little moments right there where it's like you just don't get the smoothness, right? Of the da 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 da. I don't have as low of a voice as you, right? But you don't have the smoothness of that like low register really just punching you in the gut, right? Yeah, you can hear that. You can hear some of the tension there. So, anyways. Like I mentioned before, the reason why I'm harping on this, the reason why I'm spending 15 minutes talking about Melodyne and so on, right? The reason why is because I want over time, it's not going to happen today, but over time that you have better language for like, hey, I'm hearing this thing. Is there a way that you can go into Melodyne and like re-chop those vocals so that the note settles a little bit? Or can you lower the modulation on the vocal through Melodyne so that there's not as much wavering in pitch on the low notes? The more you have language for that as a great vocal producer who's self-producing, even though you are not the beat maker, you are the producer of your record, right? The one that is kind of dictating the record. If that is, something that you're going to be doing and kind of, showcasing what you're doing, then the more language you have for that, the more you can go to the engineer, be like, hey, got the mix back. All this sounds fire. The guitars are great. The drums are amazing. fantastic job. There's a couple quick things that I'm hearing in the vocal that I would love a revision on whenever you have the capacity to execute that. There's a couple notes in the first verse where I don't feel like the low note is settling. Would you mind double checking in Melodyne and see if you can't chop a couple of those notes and make sure they settle? That's like a quick, respectful revision right there, right? That could maybe take a turn from not relying as much on autotune and saturation and stuff like that and help smooth it out a little bit simpler there. But you're still like, dude, the rest of this mix sounds, fantastic. All of this sounds really cool. Drums and bass are awesome. Love the solo at the end. The slides are fantastic. Let's polish this little thing right here. Boom, and it's out. I'll give you credit in the metadata. You know what I mean? Little corrections like that can be really powerful. Let's get into the song. That's one of the few things that I noticed here is just, again, a little bit of like hyper control of the vocal over a very natural production. And I would love for us to bridge that gap a little bit more. Let's get into the beat switch here really quick though. Got you, Eris. I got you, man. Thank you for the follows, y'all. Appreciate it. Once you get into this register here, it's beautiful. Once you get into this register here, there's so much more clarity for the vocal. It's expressive. It projects well. I like it, man. It's really, really cool.
Oh, so right.
And this is personal. I'm annoying with this one, so ignore what I'm about to say. I'm just going to say what's coming into my mind. From a guitar standpoint, just and tonal differences and stuff here, I wouldn't have as much tremolo as they have right here. This is a really strong, not even necessarily tremolo, but like a really strong vibrato. This really strong tremolo that they have, it's pulling a lot of the energy out of the vocal, especially because it's kind of shrunk down to mono. It's collapsed to mono. And then it's such a broad tremolo and it's such a like deep modulation right there, that it's pulling the energy away quite a bit. Now I have a Vox AC15 sitting right next to me right here. I love me a good tremolo on the guitar. It needs a tremolo, a nice little bucket brigade on there, a good tremolo. Like that's gonna make it come alive. But it sounds great. But a little bit of a more shallow, Dre, thank you for the hand heart. A little bit of a more shallow tremolo, I think would serve it better. You hear that it's such a deep tremolo that it actually is like almost gating the guitar. It's almost like pulling the energy out of half of its phrasing in the middle right there, as opposed to you getting this kind of wafting, getting some of this energy shift right there. What's up, Aiton? Getting some, energy shift right there and getting some, obviously some amplitude changes from the vibrato without it like gating the guitar back and forth. Do you have a quad cortex or anything like that? No, I don't, Dan. I'm either in the box or pedals and amps. So I just got rid of my, I had a Fender DeVille 410 tube amp. And now I just have my Vox AC15. So I just mic up the Vox. I've got a couple basic pedals to dial in some stuff if I need to. Otherwise I'll just process, in the box, either just, some of the I do have some neural DSP. Nolly I use a lot if I'm doing more like heavier production, like lead guitars, heavier rhythms and stuff like that. Archetype Nolly is great for that stuff. That's a neural DSP plugin. I've got a bunch of PRS plugins, some Fender plugins. I've got a bunch of kind of random stuff. A bunch of stuff that came with Waves as well. So there's some like Waves pedal in the box pedal plugins and stuff like that I can use if I need them. But I'm a big fan of just like a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just dial in tone out. So I've got a couple like Marshall plugins and a lot of like just cheaper plugins too. Like some overdrives and stuff if I need it, and then mic up the Vox, push it as necessary in the room. And then if I need to like process more specific like dialed in choruses and stuff like that, then I can do that in the box as well. But another thing is like I have like a Juno chorus plugin, which is one of my favorite things. Dude, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I have a Juno core. It's by TC Electronic. I think it's TC Electronic. And it's actually a Juno 60 style circuit. So it has both, it's in stereo, so it's a stereo pedal and like a stereo stomp box. And you can have the first or second circuitry or both buttons in. So you can have the slower or faster modulation, just like I have in the Juno 106, and toss it on anything. I could toss it on any of the synths that I have in here. I could just route it through the patch bay, or I can toss it on a guitar, dude. Dude, it's like $50, dude. How much is it? It's so cheap. It's so cheap. It's like $60, dude. One of the best cheap decisions I've ever made. I think it's called the June 60. Let me see. I'll pull it up real quick. $60 $75. I have the V2. I have the second version. It's like updated hardware. Yeah, $75, dude. Gamer Girl, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. $75, dude. You can, I see one right now for like 50 or 60 on Reverb. I guess the price went up, probably tariffs or whatever. But yeah, $75. It's great. I literally have it sitting on the ground over there. That thing is fantastic. I love it so much. But yeah, it's got both circuits. So if you want faster modulation, slower modulation, you can output mono or stereo if you got mono or stereo synth. So I'll use it for synths. If I don't have the Juno on the Juno chorus, I can use another synth. I could run like my K2 through a Juno chorus and create this like really, really nasty open lead and stuff like that. Or of course, I can get a Juno style chorus on the guitar, which is fun too. I like it. Sounds good. I look forward to hearing it. I forgot. I picked up an LM drum, the Behringer LM drum, right? That's their LM2, right? It's a Lindrum LM2 clone, right? If I'm not mistaken, dude, that's amazing. All right, let me get into the outro of the song here really quick, and then we'll move on. I'm ranting too much, but let's get into it, dude. That's awesome.
Well, I had a dream about you last night.
You got a great voice, man, Logan. You got a great voice.
I don't know. I've seen you times a many, but I've never walked on over to ask you for your name. Though I've heard it through the vine, the beauty that you carry, well, it is so divine.
And this is a really, really solid production structure too, man. Y'all, please show some love. That is Aveline by Logan Class. Man, beautifully done. Beautifully done. I love and appreciate what you do, man. You do have a great voice, great songwriting structure, and this is a really nice mix and a really nice production. I do agree with you where I'm very curious what it would be like to hear a simpler production structure. Like, I would love to hear you with like a kick drum and a tambourine and like an acoustic guitar and a fiddle. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to hear like a really like simple, really distinct production with a more natural vocal mix and allow more of your natural voice to shine just a little bit more. That to me, yeah, that's what the next one's going to be. I look forward to that. This is a good song. It's a good production. I think everyone should go stream it. It's out. Go stream it. Go like it. Go add it to your playlist, so on and so on. But I do look forward. King, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I do look forward to hearing a simple production structure where we're able to hear more of the natural texture of your voice, not disguised by processing in any way, but just polished by it, right? Like, you can still tune it. You can still compress it. Obviously, you should compress, EQ, stuff like that. Dre, thank you for the hand heart. I appreciate that so much. But man, y'all show some love. Let's keep the music going. And I'm going to go ahead and A10, I got you, man. A10, I got you. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for the submission. I'm going to go ahead and close up the line to new submissions. I'm going to close up the line just now. I got you, A10. I see that one coming in. I'm going to close up the line to new submissions right now, y'all. We will be live again tomorrow. Maybe a little bit earlier. I'm going to be working in the studio again today. So, hey, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much for showing up today, man. I appreciate that a lot. Y'all definitely go follow the real, I think it's iClass Music or L-Class Music, maybe. But definitely make sure you go and follow them there as well. All right, let me close the line really quick. Yeah, right on time, A10. Al, man, thank you for the follow. The line will be open up again tomorrow. Keep in mind that if you are in the line, you can still move. So if you are in the line, you're already in the consultation line or any of the other lines. If you're already there, you can move, you can go faster, you can skip. That's completely up to you. We just aren't taking any new submissions to the line right now. But we still got plenty of music to get through. I just have a really full line, so I gotta mitigate it a little bit. But let's keep it rolling. But once again, if you don't get heard, of course, we'll be live again tomorrow afternoon. Or earlier, probably earlier afternoon. This is Eris in the Building featuring ? This is Starstruck by Eris. Let's see. It's time. Here's our newest demo inspired by NOTD style triplet dance pop. Wrote it this week and have my sister and mom singing on it. Let's go. Have a vocalist in mind. Yeah, I got you. Have a vocalist in mind for it already, but I'm still deciding if we will move forward with her. I wrote all the lyrics and melodies myself and have the second verse written but not recorded yet. Still need to write the bridge and record the post-chorus and ad-libs. Let me know what you think. But the full production is you, though, right? Yeah, current line's still going. You can check the queue at the link in my bio. It changes all the time, so I don't like telling people where they are because it might change by the time you go there. Like it literally just changed 5 seconds ago while I was talking. So, and just changed again. I just got another one. Just go check the line. If you click on the link in my bio, there's a tab there that says that once you go to the submission form that says see the queue, you'll be able to see the line there. It's always updated as we go through the songs. All right, Starstruck by Eris, produced by Eris and Jaden. Let's go. Tell Jaden to feel better. Tell Jaden to feel better. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. It's time. Love that arpeggio. It's beautiful.
Cause you're leaving me starstruck lately. I've been falling out of touch with all of my feelings. But maybe there's more to this love than I was believing. So tell me, are you ready to try for something with meaning? With me? Cause when you're next to me, it feels like ecstasy every time we touch. Oh, it's never enough. Guess it's meant to be. Feels like destiny every time we touch. You're leaving me starstruck. And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know if you feel the same. When you hold me close and you pull away, is it just a game? And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know, do you feel the same? Cause you're leaving me starstruck.
A little like 1975 on the progression in the back with kind of the like DX7 chords. It's cool. And this is open for the feature, right? Yeah, open for the feature.
Cause when you're next to me, it feels like ecstasy every time.
Love the vocoder.
we touch. Oh, it's never enough. Guess it's meant to be. Feels like destiny every time we touch. You're leaving me starstruck. And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know if you feel the same. When you hold me close and you pull away, is it just a game? And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know, do you feel the same? Cause you're leaving me starstruck.
I like that lead coming in. That's cool. Good
Cause you're
tone.
leaving me starstruck.
Good production decisions. Don't know. It's not through Discord. It's through the link that I told you about up there. So if you're not in that link, then you're not online.
It feels like ecstasy every time we touch. Oh, it's never enough. Guess it's meant to.
So that bridge is open right now, right?
Destiny every time we touch. You're leaving me starstruck. And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know if you feel the same. When you hold me close and you pull away, is it just a game?
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
wanna know, yeah, I gotta know, do you feel the same? Cause you're leaving me starstruck.
Let's go, Eris. This is nice, man. This is super clean. I'm excited for you to work on this.
Cause you're leaving me starstruck.
Yeah, you can. People just did. People just did. You also, you should be able to, Anima. You should be able to. A couple people have. Y'all, let me know if you have an issue with that, because I think Aiton just did. If you have one in line, you just have to go to your song, Anima. If you go to your song, then you should be able to move it from there if you're wanting to. But let me know. Let me know if it's giving you an issue or if it's giving anyone else an issue. Don't spam the chat. Please don't spam the chat. You will get muted, and I don't want that to happen. But y'all, please show some love to Eris in the building. Let's get into it, man. I want to talk about a couple production details. Don't know music. If you're in the consultation line and you don't get heard, right? Or if you're, like you said, you're leaving or you got to head out, you're in another stream, you miss it. You'll never miss your opportunity. So if you're not here when I call your song, I will save it and I'll boost it next time. Okay. So if you sent in 10 today for a consultation and you don't get heard, the next time you hop in, let's say you hop in tomorrow afternoon, you hop in the chat and you say, hey, I was here from yesterday or whatever, I'll bump you into the 15. You'll add a little bit every time that you come back in. That way you're clean and ready to go. Beetlebum, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. We're not playing Lovely by Billie Eilish. We are not playing specifically right here. We're not playing popular artist requests. This is for your music, and the line is also closed. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling here. Let's get back into it. I click on, but no, it doesn't seem possible both on mobile and PC. Interesting. That's weird. Danielle, what's up, Danielle? Good to see you. How are you feeling today? That's strange. Maybe I'll keep it open until I can get that figured out. I'll see, because that hasn't been an issue in the past. I'll open it back up, but keep in mind we're just gonna have to save a bunch if we do that. But anyways, I'll open it back up again just in case. You can try it out now and see if that works. I'll open it for a second here, and we'll see if it works out. Bandy's in the building. D's in the building. What's up? What's up? Bomb, welcome in. The line is closed. Line is closed, y'all. If you're in line, you can move around, but we're getting into the tail end of the stream right here. It is technically closed. It is technically closed, but I have to open it up so that some people can move around. But if you can put yourself in there, we'll listen to it. But I'm gonna have to save a chunk. You misunderstood, but Manifesto told me how it the aux cord site works. Yeah. It's got to be submitted through the aux cord. Yeah, try now, Anima. So it's a lot of work, but it's still fun. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's get it, Eris. Let's get it. Let's run it. Let's run it, man. We're gonna run it from the top. Let's dive into a couple details here, man, and we'll dive in. But y'all show some love to Eris, man. Show some love to Eris. I hope y'all are doing amazing today. Thank y'all so much for joining us today, man. I appreciate y'all a lot. I know I haven't been live in almost a week. But I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for tapping in today. It's been amazing. How many more are you gonna do? I'm gonna do a handful more. I don't know exactly how many. I'm gonna go through as many as I can before I gotta rest my ears for tomorrow's projects. But I'm gonna try to do a good handful more. All right, let's run it, man. Let's run it from the top. This whole intro is really, really smooth.
Cause you're leaving me starstruck lately.
I'll do as many as I can. But like I mentioned before, if I have to save any, just because a lot of times the line gets crazy, it just kind of depends on the day. If I ever have to save it, you'll never miss your chance, right? So if you end up having to leave, you got to eat, sleep, work, leave for any reason, or I get off at the end of the night and you haven't been heard before, I'll always make sure we save it for the next time that you come in and boost you, right? Like I said before, if you ended up coming in and you had 10, the next time, let's say you come in tomorrow, if you can, or a week from now, it doesn't matter to me. You come in, tomorrow in the next couple days, you said, hey, I came in, I submitted 10 the other day. What I'll have you do is I'll have you submit for free, and then I'll boost you 15 or 20, right? I'll give you more every time that you come in to hopefully get you ahead the next couple times that you're going in, so you can get heard a little bit sooner, just in case yours ever gets saved. So I sometimes, if the line gets crazy and it's getting too long and I'm trying to get through more of the consultations, then sometimes it can take a bit longer, and I try to get through as many as I can, but I also listening to music all day, so I try to protect my ears at the same time and try to save as many as I can and make sure that y'all are set up the next time that you come in. I would add a boost, but it still doesn't let me know. Yeah, it might be something on your end then, because it's all. I'm gonna go ahead and close it again though, because I don't want anyone to accidentally submit. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it again, because there's got to be something on your end, Anima, because a bunch of other people are skipping. A bunch of other people were moving. So I'm going to go ahead and close it up again, just because I don't want anyone new to submit and then not be able to listen to them. Yeah, we'll make sure you're good. We'll make sure you're good, Anima. No worries. All right, Eris, let's get it.
I've been falling out of touch with all of my feelings.
I want to listen for the dynamics here
Cause
really
you're
quick.
leaving me starstruck lately. I've been falling out of touch with all of my feelings.
Okay, one of the only things here is this comes in really. Now this is very chill. It's very laid back. I know you still have some editing to do, so I'm going to bullet point some things, and you can edit as needed and kind of take it into your session as you're working through things. This comes in really, really sharp, right? Really, really strong, and right, really, really strong right off the bat right here. I would love for this intro to feel a little bit smoother. One thing I think you might want to do, this is maybe the direction that I would go, is take that first You guys starstruck. Take that first vocal and like sample it instead of it being like loud, dry lead vocal right in the middle. Maybe it still needs to be balanced, but whatever. Yeah. Like maybe even like format shift it and like filter it in and like open up the filter as you get into the verse. So it starts like a little smoother and opens up leading into the song. So it's not so boom. Yeah, the first intro. Yeah, exactly. Filter it, bring it back a little bit, restrain it for a moment so that it comes in with a little bit more power whenever the verse starts. But it's really sharp as soon as it comes in. So the more you can kind of affect that, pull it into the production for it, because the production starts so just like, it's so chill, right? Those first parts of the production are so mellow and the vocal's really strong. So the more that you can suppress it a little bit, I think, and filter it, I think the better it'll be. Let's get into the verse here.
Maybe there's more to this love than I was believing. So
Great vocal here. I mean, there's a lot that I love about the vocal production on a lot of it. I mean, it's bright, it's punchy, it's slicey, it's doing what it's doing. There's a lot that I really like about the production. One thing, I would take there's maybe a little bit of like latency compensation on the vocal timing, where things are in front of the pocket for almost every single one of them. I would honestly select all vocals and move them back like 10 milliseconds and just like settle them into the bass line again. They're pretty slicey, they're pretty punchy, and they're in front of the pocket of hair. So it makes you feel a little bit more anxious and less chill and relaxed and dream poppy. You know what I mean? I want it to feel like really easy and really warm and really mellow. And they're just pretty much all of those vocals are just a hair in front of the pocket. There's already a syncopation on the timing from this. Right? We already get that syncopation in the early hit right there. And so it's going to make the vocals feel even more off time if they're in front of the pocket even more than the early hit is. So I would honestly select all. I think they're all just a hair in front of the pocket. Select all and just bump it back. Could also be the anticipation on the chords. Yeah, so I mean, there is the syncopation there. There is that chord coming early and maybe the vocal trying to match some of that. But even on the first verse where none of the chords are changing, like these first couple notes here, 5 to 10 milliseconds-ish in front of the pocket, you just slide them back a hair, and the whole production will settle.
tell me, are you ready to try for something with meaning?
And then, if you can settle that back into the production right there, it'll be super seamless.
With me, 'cause when you're next to me, it feels like ecstasy every time we touch. Oh, it's never enough. 'Cause
Hook is better. Hook is a little bit more within that pocket. So focus on verses a little bit. That's going to be easy. Very easy fix.
it's meant to be.
Harmonies are beautiful here. Absolutely love them.
Feels like destiny every time we touch. You're leaving me starstruck.
Okay, one of the only like corrective things that needs to happen here. You're leaving me starstruck. This little note right here on the da. Right, I think it's the C sharp to the D, right? So we're going from the D to the F sharp, C sharp down to the D again, right? On that little pocket right there, that movement between that semitone right there, the vocal's halfway between them. So dry vocal, raw vocal is halfway between them. So you're hearing the da, 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 and you're hearing it, da, you're hearing it modulate between the two. It sounds crazy. You hear it modulate between the two notes right there, as opposed to the da, 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 and then just hearing the natural vibrato with the vocal there. So just make sure that the last note, if you're going to do any manual corrections through Melodyne or Graph Mode or whatever, make sure that's correcting up to the D, not the C sharp or anywhere in between that. Because right now it is living halfway between. So when we hear Starstruck, which is like the punchline of the end of the hook right here, it's kind of the intro to the song. It's kind of it's the title of the song, so on and so on. Because it's such an important lyric right there, I don't want any modulation between the two notes. That is kind of being forced out of the scale, right? It's going to be kind of forced out of the melody with autotune, right? So if you can manually place that exactly where it needs to be right here, you won't have nearly as much of the wobble between notes.
Me starstruck.
Da, da, da. You hear that little push right there?
You're leaving me starstruck.
It's trying to catch it right underneath it. Some of it's the vibrato, but some of it just needs to be slid into place. So C sharp, lock it into the D. This hook is also copied over, so it happens a couple times in the song. Make sure you correct all of them, right? So make sure that every end line where it's going to the D for Starstruck, make sure it's locked to the D. That way it's not moving between the two. All right.
And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know if you feel the same.
Now on these, if anything, those vocals are going to be replaced with by either my sister or Nuva. Okay, sounds good. keep the same thing in mind. It's there, so I'm talking about it. But if that's not going to be there later, then of course you can address that here. Let's push a little bit later. When you get into this hook here, when you get into this lead melody right here, definitely stack that. You don't necessarily need harmonies on everything if you don't want harmonies on everything. Yeah, 100%. You don't have to do harmonies, but I would definitely have strong doubles. There are doubles there, but you definitely are going to want some strong doubles on there to have as much energy behind the vocal performance as there is around the chords of the synths and production and stuff like that. Just make sure there's enough support over that lead vocal. It's a great production. I mean, I'm you know me, I'm loving this production, man. A lot of this production structure I think is fantastic, but I want to make sure that there's enough in that vocal to support it as you get a little deeper into it. But this is great, man. It's really clean. I know it still needs some, I think if a sense of so there's maybe some routing issues and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm loving the production. Most of the structure of the vocals is great. Some polish can happen, like you said. Some things might be replaced, restructured, reordered, stuff like that. But most of the structure itself, especially on the production side, sounds great. It's really, really clean. I think you and Jaden have done a great job, man.
And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know if you feel the same. When you hold me close and you pull away, it's just a game. And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know, do you feel the same? 'Cause you're leaving me starstruck.
And to amplify that like crazy, like, I mean, that's a great synth in the back. I love it. Obsessed. Fantastic melody. Maybe push. I know you're not mixing yet. I know. I love Twitch. I gotta love Twitch ads, man. Keep that melody strong. Keep it forward, as well as there might already be a guitar on there. Layer it with the guitar as well, with a bunch of chorus on it, like a snappy, like a really like snappy, highly compressed chorus guitar. Keep that really, really sharp and punchy. Push that melody forward. That's your instrumental hook to the song. You have a great, catchy, consistent lead hook on the vocal. Now we need to amplify that intro hook for the guitar as well. We do have plans to add guitar. Beautiful. Add a nice chorusy, like still pretty clean, but chorused, slightly driven guitar. Really, really like super bright, super compressed. That'll open that up like crazy. But definitely layer it with the melodies. That's so 80s. That's so like distinct 80s. Tears for Fears. Like layer the guitar in there. That's great. All right. This is all open.
When we touch, oh, it's never enough. Guess it's meant to be. Feels like destiny.
100%, especially towards the end of the song. You know, boosting some layers there, getting a little bit more out of the vocal out of that vocal structure is going to be great.
When we touch, you're leaving me starstruck. And I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know if you feel the same. When you
Layer
hold
that
me
guitar
close
right here.
and you pull away, it's just a game.
Because over the syncopation right there, you'll want on the guitars, like a little bit of drive, chorus, and slap delay, you know what I mean? Like a nice tight guitar structure right there, and then move into the boom, right? You know, that whole, don't do that. Like layer the guitar in there, and then in between have the strums with the chord changes. Like if you can build in the structure for the guitars there, that's going to be a huge push on the song. It's going to amplify your hook. It's going to make your interludes more catchy, so on and so on. That's going to amplify it a lot. Because right now it's a really tight production on the synths, drums, and bass. Synth drums and bass are like locked in. Those are really, really tight, and they punch. Those sound and feel great in the mix. Now, if we could get more of the organic instrumentation in there, vocal structure being part of that, right? Vocals and layers and introduction of those vocals, and then bring in some of the electric guitar, man, that's going to wake it up like crazy. It's going to sound so good. It's going to sound so good.
I wanna know, yeah, I gotta know, do you feel the same? 'Cause you're leaving me starstruck.
Yeah, all these interludes got to have a strong guitar there. Strong melody right there will make a huge difference. Yeah, ad-libs. So what there is where I would kind of add everything in. So like gang vocals, strong ad-libs on the Starstruck with the repetition right there. You get a tag kind of right there at the end. Tag that Starstruck, boost up the melody in the background with the synth, add a lead guitar with like octaves up, on top of all of that. And that's going to be a great ending tag and ending loop to the song right there with tons of energy. It's going to feel like warm and happy and inspiring. You know what I mean? Like, this is a great sync song. Like, it's great for shows. This is great for commercials. Like, it's got all of the makings of like a really, really polished synth pop record. So I think if you can do most of the work, honestly, I wouldn't touch too much about the rest of the production as you have it. Of course, unless you have ideas that you want to throw out as you're going through your process. I think it sounds really good. Classic Eris vibe, 100%. If you can do most of your work on polishing vocal structure and adding and polishing guitar, layering that in, you're going to be great. I'm not worried about it. Y'all show some love to the family. We are Eris right here in the chat. You know I love what you do. I think you're fantastic. Y'all are talented. You know what you're doing. But please show some love to Eris right here. Thank you so much for tapping in. Thank you for your submission, man. Thank you for the generosity. I appreciate it more than you know. Let's keep the music going. We got the family in here again. We got BAP by A10. Of course, man. Anytime. I love what you're doing. That's killer. That's an absolutely killer record. A10's in the building. It's been a while since I've heard an A10 production. Let's get into it. Just a very simple beat, nothing fancy here. So he says, until I hear some random 7/16 time signature halfway through. I'm not logged in. Anima, I'll open it. If you want it, I'll open it. You want me to open it? I got you, Anima. I'll do it right now. It says closed over here, so people shouldn't submit. I got you. I can open it so you can move. Let me know. Or actually, I shouldn't need to. Do whatever you need to do, Anima. I got you. I'll help you out. Okay, this really is basic. Nothing fancy here, still rough in the sense that there's no real structure yet. It's mostly like a loop, not sure where to take it structurally at this point. Let me know what you think. Let's get into it, man. I got you. Let's go. RC20. That shouldn't be an issue, Anima. I don't know why that would be an issue. Hey, we're closed. We'll be live again tomorrow. Make sure y'all are following. Oh, I love that bass line. Bass line's nasty. Thank you. Appreciate the follow. I love what you have so far. This is BAP by A10. A10 Music Productions right here in the chat. Get a hat in there with like a little bit more swing and it's game over. Bring that, I like the ping pong delay. Bring that shaker back by like 3 dB and then get an acoustic hat with like an annoying amount of swing in it. What's up, Peter? Good to see you, man. Welcome into the Red app. Good to see you, man. Yeah, A10's amazing. A10's amazing. Super simple. Less than 2 minutes. Man, let's get into it. Y'all show some love. Show some love. That is BAP by A10. Let's dive into it, man. But yeah, pull the shaker back a couple dB. Get like a little bit of swing on like one more hat in there and then kind of replace the energy from where the shaker is, just to create a nasty amount of movement right there. And then you can kind of open this up for a vocal. You'll be good to go. This one is a little bit challenging as far as moving in and out of the dynamics. But I think for me, in my personal, I know you've gone a lot of different directions as far as you getting different vocals on different songs and stuff like that. To me, this is a rap song. To me, when I'm hearing this is a song that needs multiple rappers on it, most likely. So what I would probably encourage you to do is have multiple phrases of this production so that it shifts energy multiple times. The chord changes would be challenging, and yeah, no doubt rap 100%. Like to me, It's going to be challenging. Female singer on the hook. That's true. That's true. This would be one that's challenging to shift away from that feel. So for me, it would be like we need to then change drums, change a sample in the background, like MPC style sampling in the background on like a B section of the song. Maybe we sit there for 45 seconds and then we go back into boom. And we go back into that same feel, same flow. But let's run it from the top. Let's dive into a couple details here. For those of you asking, we are closed. We are closed. Well, you can't see this on Twitch and YouTube, but on TikTok, we are closed. I'm just waving on Twitch and on Twitch and YouTube. On TikTok, we are closed. We'll be live again tomorrow, though. So definitely tap in. Make sure that you're following or subscribed where it makes sense on Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok, and we'll open up the live stream again tomorrow for some more submissions. It'll be probably early afternoon tomorrow, for just a couple hours. But let's get into it, man. Let's run it from the top. Let's get into some of the details here. Thank you for the follow, y'all. Appreciate it. But y'all reach out to Aiton. Aiton's got some productions he's sitting on. Definitely. Always looking for people to work with. This right here, honestly, is a good dynamic to fall back on. Yeah, it is intentionally right now. It's kind of just a loop that they just produced. They just started working on this, so it is currently just a loop essentially until they figure out how they're going to structure it. So that makes sense. That's valid. But it is just very, very early loop structure. They haven't really made it like a full song yet. They just kind of got the idea out. This dynamic though here, this dynamic in the intro is something you could really easily fall back on. So kind of keep that in mind. This, whether you change the chords here for a vocal to get more of a smooth R&B vocal to get on top of in between different raps or something like that. This dynamic with like the piano and a bass interlude and some vinyl noise, like this aesthetic and dynamic right here is a really good pocket that you could walk this back down to and then reintroduce your drums and bass later. And then this is like your main structure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Corey. Thanks for tapping in today. So if this is like verse, it's locked in, good texture. Maybe sit here-ish, right? Dynamically sit here for 16 bars, right? And then walk it back down to here. I'll just start it from the beginning, right? Come back here. But like maybe let that sit for like another 4 to 8 measures or something like that. So you have the whole main production, this, here, E minor to A minor with some walk-ups, basically. And then for just a moment, we go here, right? Boom, 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 boom. And then we hit the rest of the production, right? Use that like intro, even if you change the chords a little bit and you switch some of the arrangement around, using that dynamic as kind of how you move in and out of your hook versus your verse, I think would be an interesting way for you to kind of shift this around here. How many measures is a bar? How many bars is a flow? A measure and a bar is interchangeable. It's typically whatever count of your time signature. So in this case, 4 counts. But measures and bars are typically interchangeable depending on how you're counting your time signatures. And a flow is just is basically the language behind your phrasing. Flow is more abstract. But yeah, so if most of this main structure is here, right, it's nice and heavy, you could, simplify. Right, you could expand these a little bit, but then maybe go to the 4 for a second. Boom, and then we're back into it. Having the like C walk up to the D major and back into it, like C7, and this introduce like the F sharp minor diminished right here over the top, and then back into the back into the next part of the structure right there. Okay, so let me back this up here a little bit. Let's get into the main structure again. But yeah, to me, I like everything that I'm hearing, Aiton. Like I really like the drums. I would love a little more swing on the hats, like I said, a little bit more swing, maybe shift energy from shaker to hats for a swing. Introduce a little bit more movement right there. But I like the bass line, I like the movement, I like the tone of the piano. For me, it's going to come down to dynamics. And how you build structure. And I think probably the best way to build structure would be coming back to your earliest moments with maybe a small change in progression. Nothing too crazy. You could just do the E minor, C, D with the F sharp, diminished over the top, and keep it really close right there. So it's still very close to the same, but there's space for a vocal to come in, and then walk it back down to the do do doom boom boom do 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 doom boom boom. Da, boom, 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 boom. I can just create a lot more energy in the low end there when you cut back into it. But let me get a little deeper here. I like the bass a lot. I do not know him. Melody's clean. What if we, let me see. What if you immediately went down to the C, to the D? Let me see. It's really only for a second. Hold on. And it stayed there for a second. Like stay there for another at least like 4 bars. And instead of doing the boom, boom, E minor, A minor, what if you immediately just went and lengthen that out for another 4 bars or so? Or longer if you want to like double up the hook or something like that, and immediately go. You could sit there for a second, maybe build it up. And then build it up and go back into the structure from there on out. There's a lot of different ways you could kind of approach the transition there, but I do think a chord progression would be nice, especially if you're going to add a vocal over a hook, if you're going to change to something a little bit more melodic, back into like a really heavy rap verse over most of the production. It'd be nice to have something a little bit lighter. It helps shift the dynamics, helps shift the emotion a little bit there, so it doesn't. The E minor, A minor is going to get old really, really fast. Even though it's great progression, it works with the bass and over the hook, over the main verses, it works really well. I have no issues with the rest of the production structure right there, but it's going to get monotonous. Even though it's really cool when it's happening, it's going to get monotonous fast if we don't change the hook. So I do think something like a 4/5 or something like that, even just walk between a 4 and a 5. All right, give it a little bit of tension there, and then maybe end on a nice, like B minor, and then build it up right there. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it, but maybe shift to like a 4/5 or something similar. On a hook, dynamic, slow, nothing but like a shaker and maybe a crossing, right? Just to bring in a little bit of tension and movement there, and then build a boom, 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 and then hit everything hard coming out of that. And then back heavy. Whenever it comes in, it's bass and everything in. It's got a ton of energy. Trust me on this, make motive. Omer, what are you talking about? I'm not understanding. Line's closed, y'all. Line's closed. But make sure y'all are following. We're going to open up the line again tomorrow. This is for your music, and the line's closed. on like B section of your verses too, it could be nice to have. I mean, I hear this beautiful, almost like airy string on the left side right here. I like that a lot. And it's reminding me of what you could possibly do a little bit more consistently in the production as well, which would be having some kind of a, just holding on the E, dun, 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 just like a pulsing string on that's like nice and wide in stereo. Bro, I was freestyling. Bro, I was freestyling. Oh, to the track. I'm sorry. That's unfortunately not the break. You should have been here 20 minutes ago. We go back through the song like 4 times, sometimes. In this case, we're going back about 2 or 3 times. So yeah. So unfortunately, you missed the time that we played all the way through. The first time that we play it, we'll play it all the way through without stopping or doing anything. And then we go back through it and we chop it up and we do a bunch of stuff. So I'm sorry to interrupt your freestyle, but that's unfortunately where we're at in the song this time. But yeah, on this high end here. Like having like a nice like pulling, like obviously not with the vocal, but like a pulsing string that's nice and wide in stereo that just happens in the background of like the B section of the verse. Again, any way that we can stair step, any way that we can push and pull dynamics here, I think is going to be really important. So obviously chord changes for the hook, dynamic changes for the hook, bring it down to like piano and some basics right there. Drums and bass strong for the verses, and then like B section of the verse, having some pulses at the top that just kind of open up the structure, keep it rhythmic, keep it really consistent, I think would be really nice. But man, everything that I hear on this, I like, man. I mean, it's a great production structure. Bass is awesome. I like the drums a lot. They're crunchy, they're punchy. I like it, man. It's nice, man. I don't mind that one bit. Y'all show some love. I don't think you're far off. I mean, you're as far off as I guess as you want to be, as far as how much more that you want to build it out a little bit. For me, a very close, because I don't think you can branch too far away from it unless you want to get crazy, which of course you can. I don't think you can branch too far away from it, but I think a close to the same chord or same melody or kind of same progression format with different chords and a lower dynamic, bring it down to piano and some pads or, kind of low texture there. Leave room for maybe potentially a female lead vocal over the hook. And then verses are all going to be about how you transition, how you build energy, and how you stair step halfway through so that that A minor and E minor don't lose steam, so on and so on. Dude, hop on a page not found. Aiton's the man. Aiton's the man. They're fire. They're super, super talented. Reach out, shoot them a DM. I know this is closed, but in the future, I've already linked my SoundCloud. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, people send SoundCloud all the time. So we'll be live again tomorrow. We'll be live again tomorrow. So definitely tap in, make sure that you're following. I'll be live probably around lunchtime. I'm central. So tap in tomorrow, or I'll be live nearly every day this week if I can. And we'll open up the line again. We'll get you SoundCloud, Spotify, Dropbox, Drive files, YouTube, MP3, whatever. It doesn't matter. MP3 Wave. Yeah, doesn't matter to me. As long as you link it in the submission form, you'll be ready to go. Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you tapping in. Y'all show some up to the family. Yeah, shoot him a D. Aiton's the real deal. That's a real musician right there. Show some love to Aiton. Aiton, I love and appreciate what you do, man. It's so good to hear a beat from you again. He's got plenty of productions. He's been working on stuff tirelessly. So definitely reach out. If you are an artist, you're a musician, you are a vocalist, you're a songwriter, they're always looking for people on their records. So definitely shoot them a message, shoot them a DM. If you can get on one of their tracks, it'd be amazing. They're very, very talented. Dude, of course, anytime. No, thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. We are closed. But we'll be live again tomorrow, so make sure y'all are following. We got Anima in the building. Anima, hop in the chat. I got time for a couple more. Anima, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Nope, I already said it, and you are muted. Dun, dun, dun. No reason. Okay. I spent very long on the chorus of this and the bass line melody. Hope you like it. All right, let's get into it, man. This is Anima in the building. I got a handful. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can, y'all, but I got a handful left in me. I do have a very early morning, so I'll like I said, if I have to save any, of course, I'll make sure that you're saved and boosted. All right, let's go. This is VGM Tokyo Morning by Anima Makes Music. Let's get it. Oh yeah, I remember this. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You're working on melody mainly, right? It's such a fun track. We're closed. We're closed. We're closed. We'll be live again tomorrow. I'll be live again tomorrow, y'all. Nice little shift. Thank you for the follows, y'all. Appreciate it. Much better change in melody, Anima. So much more variation now. So much more variation. This for sure needs to be in like some like Mario Kart like load video or something. You know what I mean? Like this needs to be in a game. This needs to be in a game. It's so good. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love. Anima. Yeah, Wii Sports. Come on. Get the bag, Anima. Get the bag. It is 100%. Wii Sports is perfect retrack. This is perfect for Wii Sports, man. Anima, get the bag. Get the bag. Just, shoot Wii a message. But man, y'all show some of the Anima. Anima already so much more variation in melody, especially with the Rhodes over the top. The A and B section of this now it's twice as long as what we had before. There's so much more variation. There's so much more nuance to the production now. It feels way more engaging to listen to. Way more engaging to listen to. Let's run it from the top. Let's get through a couple details here. But Anima, this is already so much farther along, way more closer to a finished product than we had last time, man. So proud of the work that you put in. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. All right, let's run it. And then, y'all, it is, I've been on for almost 3 hours. I'm getting a headache. I've been on for almost 3 hours. It's 9:45 p.m. I'm going to be up at 6 a.m. I got time for like, man, even 2 more seems like a lot. I'm probably going to have to save, that one's a bit farther down, feed. That one's a bit far, or dogs. That one's a bit farther down. I just got to rest my ears, man. I'm getting a headache. I've already been on for 3 hours. I'm going to try to be, let me see, man. I just got to figure this out real quick. Let me clear this one real quick. I got time for, I'll do 2 more, y'all. I'll do 2 more after this one. It's up to y'all where that is, whoever that is. I always just go top to bottom. I always just go helping with the brass. I like the brass. Yeah, Ken, you can move anytime. There's no pressure. I mean, that's up to you. So I can always save it and boost it next time. But if you want to go tonight, you can. That's up to you. That's how everyone else is moving faster. That's how the other names keep getting dropped down because people are adding to there. So if you add tier 1 or tier 2 or whatever to it, then it'll boost you that amount forward. But that's completely up to y'all. There's no pressure. There's no pressure to do that. But if you want to go now, I'll always play the top 2, and that's always in order of whatever tier that they have. That puts you next as of right now. Currently speaking, that puts you next. Okay, let's get into this track here really quick, and then it always just goes by order. So currently speaking, that would put you next. Whoops, wrong track. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's go, Anima. It moves around all the time, so someone else could skip too. But yeah, currently speaking, that's where it's at. Yeah, and I got you, man. And so I got you that 10. I can always get you another 5 tomorrow to retrack. I got you either way, man. You know, I'll make sure you're good. This is Anima. Anima makes music. I'm going to do 2 more after this one. 2 more after this one. So whoever the top 2 are, I'll do. Got you, Docs. I got you. I appreciate you. Yeah, much better variation in the roads. I love Brass too about that. VSC last week and really love it for train. Yeah, no, it wakes it up like crazy. It wakes it up like crazy. And pretty clean balance too. I mean, it's a little slicey sometimes, but I think once you're getting towards like the very tail end of this and the structures where you want it, you can smooth some of this out with some compression, some bus compression, and just really simple, very, very loose saturation. Because right now it's so clean and so direct and so snappy that everything kind of slices in really, really pure. I would love to just soften some of it a little bit, but honestly, it's very, very well done. Kurt, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Tomorrow I'll be on, it'll be around lunchtime Central Time. I'll finish up some projects early in the morning, and then I'll probably be on close-ish to noon Central Time-ish. I'll double check a few things though, but I'll be on, probably around noonish Central Time, and then I'll boost you as well, right? So Alan, I think you had 10 on there. Guitar, thank you for the follow. I think you have 10 on there. So if you come in tomorrow, I'll save it and I'll boost you 15. That way, when you come in, you immediately have a jump above anybody that comes in the 10. You're already past that. That anytime that you come in, if I ever have to save you, I'll always make sure that I boost you. I've had people boost to like 30 just because I want to make sure that if y'all are having to get saved, that we keep you rolling. Gus Boy, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that a lot. Anyways, all right, let's keep it rolling here. I'll get to 2 more at the end here. A little hot. So on the roads right here, again, most of the structure is a huge improvement. Like I said, small balancing is going to help a lot here. I would just take that lead roads that is kind of doing the primary pushing of the lead right there and just soften it a hair. I mean, it's doing some great things. It's so much louder than the chords of the roads that you hear underneath it that it feels very distinct. And that's where it's going to become more obviously digital, right? Where you have the same instrument doing kind of very dramatically different amplitudes. So take that lead roads that you have as Asen. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Take that lead roads and bring it back by just like 2 to 3 dB, soften it into the rest of the production right there, and make it a little bit more consistent, a little bit closer to the rest of the production there. What's up, Deshi? Welcome in. Yeah, the lead melodies on the organ are so much stronger as well. What's up, Dashi? Good to see you. Man, I hope you can get this into some games, man. Austrian makes some good stuff, man. Austrian makes some. I personally don't have experience with them, but I know people that do, and absolutely love them. Yeah, because you can hear how dry everything is, Anima. So that to me is like your next phase. I think you're so much stronger on your transitions. You're so much stronger on your melodies. Of course, took like days. Yeah, dude, I think you got it, Anima. I think you got it. To me, this feels very clean. I mean, especially if you like this style and you kind of like what you're going for here, like this seems very clean. It seems very well established. Some things poke, some things are jumping out a little bit. I think we can help suppress. We can help kind of rebalance out and smooth out some of the dynamics here, so they don't feel like things are cutting in and out too much, and your dynamics are shifting too much within one line to the next. But I think once you like polish this and move it out a little bit, I think that this is really, really smooth. This is really, really smooth. But very dry. So I think, again, same thing like with the brass. It's like once it cuts in completely dry, which makes it just feel more artificial there. So I think just tasteful amounts of subtle like glue compression and glue reverb, a little bit of saturation on like a mix bus, just enough to just soften this, connect everything, make it cohesive, glue it all together, just a hair, a little bit of dynamic control. You're going to be ready to go, Anima. This is a huge step forward. I like how it takes EQ well. Yeah, that's my favorite thing about this microphone, honestly. having other bright microphones. Like I have the TLM 102, which is super bright and brittle. I love how this handles EQ, how it handles processing. You can toss a lot of this thing and it takes it really well. I like it a lot. Are you sure, Retrack? If you're sure, that's up to you, man. Alan, if you're here, make sure you say. Yeah, this is so much smoother, Anima. Great job, man. Great job. They might have headed out. Man, y'all show some of Anima. Huge step forward, man. Huge. Just make I don't want to release them as. I really should just make my works in progress. I don't want to release them as packs for people. Yeah, create your sound design, create some loops, create some song structures, create some like radio intros. Like there's so many things you could do. There's so many things that you could do with this. Not everything has to be, I'm telling you, I have folders with like 200 productions that are not released. I don't know if I'll ever release them. I don't know if I'll ever sell them. I don't know if I'll ever make packs with them. They're just there. They exist. They're part of the creative process, right? Like they're a part of just my reps. You know what I mean? I can't like access my submission anymore. I think I did on private. Wait, it's not letting you. This is the same thing happened to Anima because I think they did the same thing. I think they did the same thing. Man, but y'all show some love. Alden, you might be able to go. I think Retrack's going to let you move ahead potentially. So if you got a little bit of time, we might be able to get you played tonight. They're going to drop themselves down so that you can go ahead, which would be amazing, man. That's super generous, Retrack. I appreciate this so much. But man, y'all show some love. Anima, you should, man. You should put these out there. In whatever capacity. That's love, Retrack. And Retrack, of course, I got you next time. Just submit free next time or wherever you want to go, and I'll boost you 15 at least. I quit some works that sound too much like elevator music, for example. Here's the thing, Anima. There's a place for all of this. What's up, Joseph? What's up, dude? There's a place for all of this. How's the transition going, Joseph? How's the new place? There's a place for all of it, right? Elevator music at some point someone had to make that elevator music, and now they have all the elevator music. Like someone had to make the call hold music, and now they have all the call hold music, and they're getting royalties, right? Like someone had to make the background commercial for like a antidepressant for dogs, right? And it's in the background of some commercial in between football games, right? All of those had to happen, and people had to make them, and people got paid for them, right? So just because this seems like it's something that's like not commercially viable for like pop radio doesn't mean it's incredibly viable for a lot of other spaces, right? So that's the thing I want y'all to think about too, is like, don't think that this has to be pigeonholed into like one thing. The whole music from GP is a 4-second terrible loop. I should ask them for that. No, literally, Anima, that's what I'm saying. And just start posting that. Like post that on social media. Like, dude, I make hold. Who cares? I make hold music. I make background music for elevators. Here's my thing. And then see what, you never know what happens. You never know when some company hits you up and says, hey, we need hold music. We'll pay you $500 for a track. Hell yeah. That's than most people getting started in music are going to make on anything, right? Like you never know. So like put yourself out there. And just see what happens. It's amazing. Definitely feels more like home than the last place. And I started the new job today. Let's go, Joseph. Let's go. Shout out to the family, man. Shout out to the family. Shout out to Joseph right here in the chat. Dude, I'm so happy and so proud of you, man. So happy and so proud of you. That makes me thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled to hear that, man. And thank you for the roses, man. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to the family. I would say this is probably a bit too much for that. 100% Anima, right? You get the context, right? Of like some of this stuff could be for that. Some of this could be for radio. Some of this could be for commercial, whatever. I could hear this in the background of a commercial, or like we said, Wii Sports. Like you license this to like even like find some game developers, find some, you know what I mean? Like, dude, absolutely, Joseph. I'm fine. You can see. I have finally reconnected some of the studio, not all of it, but some of the studio. It has been mayhem here for like the last like 2 or 3 weeks. But it's finally getting, I'm still waiting on a couple other pieces of gear to fully connect everything. Otherwise, I still can't track drums. I still actually can't track any synths. And I still can't track, so I actually can't really track anything but in the box. That being said, it's coming together, and hopefully by next week, the whole studio will be like up and running. Console, drums, guitar, synths, everything. It's gonna be amazing. This is Video Game 100% Anima. Y'all show some love to Anima. It's gonna be cooking, man. Dude, we're getting up there. We're getting up, dude. It's been a work in progress, but I'm finally in a place where once the studio is where the studio will be in the next like 2 weeks, I guess it's just forward movement, baby. It's just forward movement. But y'all show some love to Anima. Anima, appreciate you so much. And then it's not going to be slowly. It's going to be beautiful, beautiful, quick movement doing its thing. We got Dogs in the building. Dogs, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. I know you're here because I know you just boosted. But let's get into it. Both, Joseph. Both are valuable. It's Anima, though. It is Anima. Hi, mate. This is our first single coming out September 18th. We're an alternative rock band from Cardiff. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it, man. Two very different things. All right, this is Dogs. It's called Feed. We're pulling up on SoundCloud. Give me the details. Talk to me about what I'm hearing here. Obviously, I know it's an alternative rock band, but talk to me about who you are and what the role that you play in your music. And let's get into these last two tracks. Sounds good, man. Anima, I appreciate you so much, man. It's sounding fantastic. It's really sounding great. All right, last two tracks, y'all. Last two tracks. This is Feed by Dogs. Lead singer and guitarist, nice. There it is. I was waiting for that double track.
Lay to rest when I am dead.
Dang, Joseph.
Forget
What's the new job?
you're my only friend.
If you don't mind. You don't have to answer that, of course.
Shit. While I'm in the midst of having bad intentions with such fucking good ideas. And
Love the tone.
lay to rest when I am dead. I will forget.
Good voice too, man.
You're my only friend. Feed me shit while I'm in the mix.
Kemper. Close enough.
Bad intentions with such fucking good ideas.
I put the pieces together. I got you. Dang. That's sick, Joseph. That's cool. That's really cool, Joseph. Let's go. Really cool. Fantastic. Yo, show Some love, y'all. We are close. I need to make. I don't retrack. I don't know what I need to do. I feel like I need to make this like monstrous or something, man. I gotta make this huge. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. This is. There we go. There we go. I don't know, man. That's stupid. That was blocking me. It's without fail. I'll make it a little bit bigger. That's not bad at all, Joseph. The thing is, here's the thing is like, I still want people to come in and like listen to y'all's music, you know? So that's the thing. It is on SoundCloud. Nate serves. It is on SoundCloud. Yeah, dude, 26 an hour is not, man, in this economy, that's not bad at all. I still like, I don't want it to be like so closed off that then like nobody comes in to hear y'all's music. Cause y'all can see it went from 23 people. It went from 23 people down to 5, 3 to 6 people, right? As soon as we say close. And so I still want people to hear y'all's music. I still want people to like show up and come in and like y'all gain new fans of what you're doing. But as soon as I put closed, everyone's like, oh, I'm not even going to show up, because people mostly come in selfishly, right? Most people come and be like, I hope I can get heard, or my favorite artist can get heard, or whatever. So I don't know. It's a balancing act. I'll just, whatever. It's fine. It's fine answering a few questions. That's fine. It's not that hard. All right. Let me just move this back real quick, and then we'll get into these last tracks here. Boom. Joseph, thank you so much for the roses, man. I appreciate you so much. Joseph's the man. I appreciate you, man. All right, let's run it from the top. I like this a lot. Sounds good, Joseph. You know I appreciate you more than you know, man. Thanks for stopping by. Drink food, eat water. You know the deal. Always drinking food. But y'all show some. Joseph's the family, man. We love Joseph. So definitely show some love. Catch him when he streams as well. We love Joseph around here. All right, let's run it from the top. This is Feed by Dogs. I love so much about what you're doing here. There's one like overarching point that to me is going to be one of the factors on just how broad this track is, how much movement you get out of this track, and it's clarity. And this is one of the things where I don't want to ruin, and I wanted this to be very, very clear. I don't want to ruin the song. I don't want this to be clean. I want it to be nasty and grungy and distorted, and I still want it to be a wall of sound. I want it to sound crazy and extreme, while still being able to like distinguish what the bass is even doing there. I want it to be chuggy. I want it to be distorted. I want to hear, but I still want to feel like the string attack. I still want to like get some of that energy from it so that it matters in the mix, and it's not just like a kind of a nucleus of low end information at the low end of the mix under like 400 hertz, right? So one of the things I would love for y'all to do, even just very tastefully and very subtly, is just a hair of clarification between like your bass, your drums, and your lower rhythm guitars, so that there's some compartmentalization of those different elements while still being wall of sound, distorted, crazy. This sounds nuts, and it's underground, right? This is not a pristine pop song, so it should feel nasty, but I still want to hear what y'all are doing that's so creative, right? So that's one of the things I want to target here, just really briefly. But man, y'all are cool. It's a cool vibe. It's a cool feel. Why the eyes look purple? Do my eyes look purple? I don't know. TikTok's camera function being weird. Do my eyes look purple? I don't know. I got no answers for you there, Slim. I got no answers for you there. What's up, Sanko Music? Good to see you, man. What's happening with my face? Who mixed this? Someone in the band or a separate audio engineer? So like right in here. Again, obviously, I mean, the drums are really, really, there's a lot of punch, there's a lot of drive. Expensive with yeah, 100%. It's a good mix. I like it. I like the mix a lot. Right here, I want to feel that bass just a little bit more. Now, obviously, low end, like I mentioned before, low end information is definitely there. I want to get like a little bit more attack out of that bass. Personally speaking, right? There's no right or wrong answer to this. I'm just in my mind. I want to, especially when we go to the verses, I want to feel that chug. I want to feel that string attack. Someone rated the mix a 2 on one of these the other day. Yeah, that's why I don't do ratings. It's just, to me, it's just kind of silly. It's like, two of what to who and why? Like, for someone who loves the style of music, it's an 11 out of 10. For someone who only listens to melodic underground rap, then they're going to hate it and they're not going to understand it. You have to, for me, it's like, that's one of the reasons why I do this live stream. Is like, I work professionally as a musician. So when you talk about musical elements here, it's like, I can actually understand what you're doing. I knew when you said Temple Kemple that you meant you tracked through a Kemper, because I know what a Kemper is. And it's like, it helps to actually have some knowledge of what's going on here. But that a lot of times what happens is people don't really understand what's going on. And they don't understand why you would want a wall of sound distorted mix. And what's the purpose behind that, and kind of the structure and the genre and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's like, yeah, this is a distorted, nasty mix, but it's supposed to be. This is not supposed to be pristine. It's not supposed to be sterile. This is not like an Ed Sheeran pop record. He was a producer. Everyone is, though. I don't know who it was, and I don't necessarily want to or care. Everyone is, though, Key, and that's the thing that you'll figure out really, really quickly on this platform. And I'm sure you've been sending music for a while, but I've been doing this particular live stream in this format, these like long 30-minute consultations, for 3.5 years. Over the 3.5 years, I have seen many people start calling themselves engineers, start calling themselves mixers, start calling themselves, producers and musicians and stuff like that, vocal coaches, vocal producers, labels, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of these people, and again, I don't care who it was. I'm not trying to name drop anyone, but a lot of these people initially were like sending music to me 3.5 years ago, and I was like helping them. Like they knew nothing about it. They had just been engineering for like 2 weeks, and they knew absolutely nothing. I was like trying to teach them about de-essing because their vocal was super harsh. And the next thing you know, 2 months later, they're like, oh, I can do live music reviews, and they're reviewing music, but they don't actually know a lot. I don't know who this person was. They might be very accredited. I don't necessarily care, but just know that a lot of people are out there calling themselves stuff when they have never actually done that thing. And it becomes obvious when it manifests to me in the comments like you're talking about, where someone's like, this mix is a 2, where like, but a 2 of what? Like a 2 compared to what's a 5 out of 5 and what's a 2 out of 2, and what about this is that? Right? And what's the intention behind it as well, right? There's a lot of like billion stream songs and very, very popular records that we love and appreciate because they have gained notoriety, that objectively have really interesting mixes because of the time period, because of the way that they were tracked, because of, creative stylistic decisions that they made. I mean, like, listen to Beatles records and half the instruments are panned to one side just because of the way that they tracked, right? The drums are all the way on the left and the vocals are only on the right side, like because of the way that they tracked at the time. Like, is that a one mix because it's not balanced? Like, what are we talking about? It's the Beatles, right? So anyways, I don't mean to rant on this. I just know, just take what people say on this platform, especially people that claim to be producers or claim to be musicians, that with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. Some people just claim that, but don't actually have enough of an appreciation of the different stylistic choices that people make to be able to speak to those things. So anyways, just tossing that out there.
I am dead. I will forget. You're my only friend. Feed me shit.
Great double tracking here. Great. I mean, it's wide. And like I said, I mean, this is supposed to be a wall of sound. One of the only things for me is just like I said before, is like, I wish, and again, this isn't even necessarily a wrong thing with the mix. Actually, I really like the mix. It's loud and it's obnoxious, and it's supposed to be. That's what we're producing here. There's a lot that I really like about it. I do just wish that I could hear more of. So maybe it's like the drums are super compressed, right? So we have this really yanked back, like 1176, really fast compression that's really pulling back on the drums. There's parts of me that wish I got more of like the high end transients. Like I wish I still got a little bit more of that snap out of it. Like I said before, a little little bit more like string attack from the bass. Those are not right or wrong decisions, right? Those are stylistic decisions as an engineer. I tell people all the time, you can send the same multi-track to 5 different Grammy-winning engineers and get back 5 very different mixes. Everyone has a different approach to the way that they mix things, right? This is just my perspective. Hey, thank you for the follow, Lottie. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow over on Twitch. But for me, it's like, I do wish I got a little bit more of that snap, and I wish I got a little bit more of like the top end of the bass to hear, so the bass is more valuable in the mix, not just the low end, but actually the attack of it. That to me would be nice, would be tasteful. But honestly, what I like about this, the thing that I do really enjoy about this mix is that it is a wall of sound. It is distorted. It is overdriven. It is fuzzy, but yet you can still distinguish a vocal. And I think that, to me, that's a sign of a good engineer. That's a sign of not a 2 out of 5 or 2 out of 10 or whatever it was. That's a sign of it not being a 2 mix, is that you do have just a crazy amount of noise and texture and color in this mix, and I can still hear a vocal over the top of it. That is not something that can really happen by accident. If you don't know how to control for noise, and you don't know how to balance a mix and give space to a vocal when there's a lot of noise there, especially when you're working in especially with like progressive metal stuff, especially with even like kind of like late 90s shoegaze kind of style stuff, like when you're dealing with a lot of just fuzz and distortion and washy reverbs and stuff like that, and a wall of sound, you can't just like accidentally have the vocal over the top. It takes a lot to carve and make sure through your mid side that things are presented really well in the mix. This is a good example of still maintaining some level of vocal clarity with a really big mix, like a really powerful, noisy mix, intentionally so. Here's the thing, GM, welcome in. Here's the thing, again, I'm not trying to, Steve, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I don't want to rant on this too much, but I also think that like on TikTok specifically, and I promise at some point in the near future, I will stop ranting on some of the stuff, but I think on TikTok, for whatever reason, people hold a standard to like really small bands and like small independent artists that have like never released before and have like 16 monthly listeners and like no music out there. G, and thank you for the follow. They hold them to the standard that they don't hold to like their favorite artist. You know what I mean? Like like some person listening to this that's like, this is a 2 mix and this is like not good, but then they like love some like AC/DC song where you can't understand a single word they're saying. Like, what are we, like some Guns N' Roses record? Like they're like, oh, and then they're wearing they're in love with Guns N' Roses records. And they're like, dude, you can't understand a single word that they're saying. It is drowned out by like a quad stack of 412 Marshall cabs. Like you can't hear anything that's going on here. You got Slash in the background going crazy over this vocal that's just mumbling and just doing this the whole time. And it's cool. And it's dope. And I love it too. But I think it's so people will shut on your music and listen to Playboy Carter. Exactly. So that's the other thing to me. My goal as someone who works professionally as an engineer and a producer and as a session musician is on this side of the headphones right now, on this side of the screen, listening to a record like this, that objectively has lower vocal legibility in the mix, right? That's fairly objective, I would think, right? You can't hear every word that's being said. It's not perfectly clear, but I think you have to really look at the intention of the record. What are you trying to get people to feel? What are you trying to get people to experience within the structure of your music? And if that comes across, then you've succeeded. You know what I mean? Like if your goal and your intention for the song is what people experience on the other side of it, then you have succeeded at your mission of making the song, whatever that mission was. And so anyways, I just, excuse me, my allergies, these Texas allergies, man, they're killing me. Anyways, it just bothers me that people sometimes will hyperfixate on legibility. And again, depending on what you tell me about your song and what we're listening to, we can talk about that, but that's not what this is. For this was to be very raw, didn't want to produce exactly. So if that's your goal, nailed it. Then it's a 10 out of 10 mix for this, right? And that's what I'm trying to get across to people, right? When it comes to like breaking down music and like reviewing things, consulting on things, whatever it is, like breaking things down. It's like you have to understand, which is why I try to ask questions like, what do you do? What's your goal for this record? What do you play in the record? What's the role that you play in your music? What are you trying to get out of this? Like, that's the reason why I ask those questions too, is because your intention for your music matters so much. Now, if you came in here, Kian, and you were like, this, I want this to be like a modern, like progressive. I want this to be like a Sleep Token song, and I want like a really polished, clear top line. Then I would have some notes on like, well, that's not what is presented here. Here's some methodologies to get there. Here's some ways that we can get there. But that's not. That's obviously not what this record is. Anyways, I wish more people understood that. I'm sorry for ranting on this for too long, but I wish more people understood that there is an intention. Funny enough, this producer has produced this, and I bet you it's a very different perspective, right? Like that to me, which is dope. I mean, that's killer. That's a great producer. Like to me, that is so important when you're experiencing music. Like if you listen to Sleep Token and then people are like, well, this isn't mixed like Ariana Grande. It's like, well, duh, it's not supposed to be. Like, and you listen to that and you're like, well, this isn't mixed like this song over here, and this isn't mixed by McGee. This isn't mixed like this song. It's like, yeah, they're all very different expressions of music for a very different purpose. This to me is all about putting yourself in the feeling and the emotion and the environment of the song. It's not about legibility of lyrics. Of course. RGC, 100%. This is not priority. Now, maybe you want people to hear some lyrics to some extent. It's more clarity during the verses, great. But it's not the highest priority. The highest priority is feeling, right? And that's going to be different for other songs, right? There's rap songs that are the same way. There's like melodic rap songs and trap songs that are the same thing, where it's like maybe we want people to understand some things, but I also am prioritizing feeling and aesthetic over legibility of lyrics. And that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly valid. It's a perfectly valid way to approach music as long as your intention is clear and people get it. If people don't get the stick, then you got to find a way to connect the dots there. Had to say the mastering engineer also did a great job. Felix Davis from Metropolis Mastering. Beautiful. Yeah, I like this a lot. I'm a fan. Hopefully, obviously, by the ranting that I'm doing here, I want more people to appreciate the things that you're doing. And I know it's a pain point for a lot of people where they don't know how to process music they don't understand. And I think that's always challenging with like grunge rock, like underground rap and stuff like that, where people they don't understand what's happening, and they don't understand the following, they don't understand the environment this music is played in, whatever it may be. And I want more people to understand that. I think it helps being a musician because I've played roles in a lot of different genres and a lot of different music. And so it helps because I'm on the other side of it a lot of times, where I'm not just consulting, right? I'm not just on this side, but I'm the one building, the cornerstones of those records and choosing the guitar tone and tracking the drums or whatever it may be. And so it helps because I can be on the other side of it and get some appreciation for like what the environment for these songs is. But anyways, let's get to the end of the song here really, really quick. Dogs, I like what y'all are doing. I think within the context of this genre and what you expect out of this genre, I think you're doing a great job. I have my personal preferences. Like I said, I would love a little bit more like high end out of the bass. I would love more like clarity for some of that low mid. But that's just a taste thing, right? That's not, is this good or bad? It's just, I would like to get a little more string attack. I would like a little bit more of that pop right there. But that to me has nothing to do with like the quality and the expectation out of this mix. I think it's very, very well done. Submissions are closed, Lottie. Submissions are closed. We'll be live again tomorrow, very early afternoon Central Time. Let's get into this last pocket here, but y'all are awesome, dogs. Thank you so much for tapping in. Like, that's such a crazy bass. That's why I want more. That's why I want more of the attack of it, because I want to hear that more. And that's a nasty bass. Crazy. Ugh. Wall of sound. It's crazy. It's nasty. Obviously, it's so obvious it's supposed to be nasty. And it's perfect. Like, who's listening to that whammy bar bends and distortion and feedback and then be like, It's not a very clean mix. I was like, this was never going to be a clean mix. It was never supposed to be. Y'all show some love, man. Show some love. Kian right here in the chat. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you so much for sending in this record. I can't wait to hear more from y'all. Y'all obviously very talented, man. Just solid musicians, great production structure. It's a good mix. Again, I think context matters so much. Context matters a lot. Anyways, I know I ranted a lot. I got to get out of here. ADHD's kicking in. We got one more track. Alan's in the building. Dog's on SoundCloud. Get some of this stuff released, man. I'm excited for you. Get it on the main platforms for people to show some love as well. Alan, hop in the chat. Let me know where you're at. You are going to close this out today if you are here. I hope you are. Releases September 18th. Beautiful. I'm glad you're releasing them. Yeah. I'm not seeing. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Second verse, just in the middle of yeah, and we'll just All right, if Alan's not here, retrack if you don't mind. I might just close up, man. It's already 10:30 or almost 10:30 here, and I got to get to bed early. I got to be up in just not too long. Oh, there's Alan. I didn't see it pop up. I was waiting, Alan. I was waiting. Okay, let's run it. This is the last song on my debut album, Orchard Lake Road, coming next May. I'm a 20-year-old songwriter from West Bloomfield, Michigan. Let's get it. This is Alan Karras in the building. Sounds good, Ken. Appreciate you. Good night, man. Have a good one. Take care. All right. Give me some details. Talk to me about the role that you play. Sounds good. I'll be here. We'll be here probably around noonish. It just depends on my schedule, but noonish tomorrow Central Time. But yeah, give me some details, Alan. Talk to me about the role that you play in your music. I know you're the songwriter, but talk to me about production. Talk to me about mix, the role that you play, and everything else that I'm hearing here. But let's get into it. Last one, y'all. Last one of the day. Hold on, let me refresh it. It's not loading right now. Okay, cool. I like the ambiance already. I like the space already. It's cool.
And I took a ride on an Orchard Lake Road.
Nice voice.
The roar of a crowd when the silence gets heard. Red light by a spot with a well-lit post. A song I played when we laughed the most. The sun's setting now and the fire's low. A glimpse of the past that I used to know. The fire's dancing to the tune of your name. Our memories shimmer in the heat of a flame.
This is really pretty, man. Really pretty. Love the strings in the background. Is TikTok super glitchy for y'all?
Took a left on an Orchard Lake Road. A sign on the gray skies and
It was looking glitchy on my end, so let's check in.
trees. Football on the ground and a pile of leaves.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
I
just checked it on my phone 'cause it was looking glitchy.
Just
Just double check.
how far I feel from the present tense. Now I'm by the places we
That's refreshing, retrack.
Somewhere down Orchard Lake Road.
It's an acoustic bass, right?
Cheers, baby.
Reminds me I used to have an Ibanez acoustic bass that reminds me of. Yeah. I just got rid of it not that long ago. I can see this at the end of a show.
I'm chasing how we used to feel.
How are you tracking your vocals? What are you using?
Outside, worries on my mind. Yeah, I think about you all the time. Whenever I take a ride.
Cool. What kind of mic and stuff? If you know, that's fine. Okay, cool. Very cool.
This is our last event for high school.
Yeah, this is our last school sponsored event. They're playing.
Yeah, we got out.
It's a really nice feel.
And I took a ride on a Orchard Lake Road. The roar of a crowd when the silence gets old.
What if you're at the top of the slide and did that? You'll fall. Please. Roxy. I'm gonna do this at the top. I'm gonna do it at the top.
Let's go, man. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Y'all show some love. Y'all, we're closed for today, but we're going to be live again tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you're following or subscribed where it makes sense. And we'll open up the lines again tomorrow, early afternoon. But y'all, please show some love. Please show some love. Please show some love. That is the family, Alan Karras, right here in the chat. Sean, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's run it back from the top. Let's dive into a couple things. First and foremost, your songwriting, your vocal, and your vocal mix, I think it's awesome. I think it's really, really good. It's smooth. It's warm. It's easy to listen to. It feels very polished while still feeling very soft and saturated and easy to listen to. I think your songwriting, your structure, I think is very interesting and really engaging to listen to. And the vast majority of the production too is very clean, very easy. I love like the Foley and the conversations, and it's very environmental, right? Like you're really dropping us into the middle of the song, which I think is beautiful. Especially now, I'm obviously imagining this at the end of a record, right? Or an end of an album that you're working on, or an EP. So you have your final track here, and it's kind of bookending a story, I'm assuming, and just kind of some of the songs and the stories that you're telling. But I love this. I think it's really, really pretty. There's one thing I'll mention a few things here, just because they popped into my head and I'm here and that's why we're here to some extent. But also, like I mentioned with some of the other ones, feel free to ignore some of these things that I'm saying, right? Like I have ideas sometimes, and so I toss them out there. But they in no way mean that they need to happen or that they're right if they do or wrong if they don't. I don't care. I have no ego in the things that I'm saying. I'll offer ideas if they make sense and if they're helpful. And if not, of course, feel free to just drop them out. But one of the only things to me that doesn't, everything feels very cohesive and very lined up and pointed in the same direction, moving in the same direction. And they sound great together and they're very, very easy to listen to. The one thing to me, just in my personal opinion, that stands out from everything being so warm and soft and easy and just really beautifully processed is percussion. It's the drums. I'll bullet point this really quick before we just go back into the song and listen through it again. But for me, you're getting this really like thin, sharp plastic attack from the batter of the drums on the kick, and even like tips. I think for the like clear heads, like they're like Evans G2 code or G2 clear or something like that heads too, and then a really cranked bright snare, really thin cymbals, largely in mono and a lot of it as well. So you get this really warm, dark, mellow, easy. I mean, still shimmery and bright in some spaces, but it's just a really warm, easy mix. And then these like really sharp, snappy, attacky drums, right? Coach Boom, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for tapping in. Personal preference, I would rather, do I have one? Hold on. 2 secs. I just set up my drums today. I would love, to be honest with you, let me shift some things here real quick. I don't have, I just set up my new kit today, so I have some stuff already with me. If you don't have to do this, again, like I said, ignore all of this because it depends on your capacity for production and who you're working on. Instead of using either rubber or plastic tip kick head, I would love to do felt. So like this would be either like a wool or felt, something like that. Drum advice, because I think we're both weak and okay. So here's what I would do. You can do a lot of what you already have here. There's a couple things that I would do. Let me grab more props. Hold on. We're talking drums, and I just set everything back up today. I sold 3 drum sets and just bought one really nice setup here. Hiloki used a drum machine. I think they're like uninstalled. Oh, okay. This can still matter, but less if that's what he's doing. Give me 1 sec. Okay, if he's using a drum machine, then it's fine. I can still talk you through a couple things and how you would 67. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. If he's using a drum machine, that's fine. If he's using any live stuff, we can still work through that. Here's what I'll say for real drums, and then you can do this with VST drums mirroring this, right? Because right now it's like stock drum, bright, snappy, digital, right? And we obviously don't want, when you have acoustic guitars and natural vocals, so on and so on. Drummer, because the dynamic tempo, you know what? I mean, you can check on Fiverr, you know what? I mean, so like I work as a session drummer, so I kind of know how that, I know how that goes. Like, it can be challenging or just expensive, right? So it's like you can find them for sure, but it might cost $400 or some, or more for some people, but it might cost a decent amount if you're getting multi-tracks from them. They're pre-processing anything, whatever it may be, right? So that's the hard part, right? So let me show you if you are able to find someone, what you can request, or if you're going to digitally process, what you should look for, right? So one would be felt or wool, focus, there we go. Felt or wool batters, right? This is for the kick drum. So it's just like, it's thuddy, right? Especially on, I don't have, obviously my drum set's to the left over here, but this is much, especially on the batter head of the kick drum, something like that's going to be more dull and thuddy, just do, as opposed to thwacky, right? Just like like this snappy, and it's just like rubber straight to the head, and it feels too clappy, right? That's a little bit of what you're hearing right now, where it's really transient, it's really attacky, and less just like soft and mellow. Where something like a wool head or a felt head like this or a batter is going to be more what you're looking for. And then on the drums, I would probably, these are brushes, so kind of the same thing here, where obviously like your sticks are going to give you that snap and the crack out of like the snare and the toms, and it's very like you're hearing every little detail of it. It's very sharp and very loud. This is very, you can even like, I'll just like bring this down like I'm just like hitting my desk, obviously, but you get the idea, right? Where it's much like softer, obviously on a snare drum, that's going to feel more in line with the more indie feel that you have in the song. This like indie pop, indie folk edge that you have. Having a soft kick that's still full and like thuddy and has a lot of energy behind it. And a snare that can still have some snap to it, but it's a little bit softer and it has a little bit more texture and character to it than it just being super snappy. And then the last thing would be absorption, or not dampening, right? So these are big, they're called big fat snare heads, but I just put them on all my drums, and that gives you that really like dry, dead, what's up, Vat? It's good to see you, man. Like really dry, dead tone on the drums. It absorbs all of the ringing and all of the resonance, and keeps everything really like Beatles dead, really tight drum structure, right? Which is more of what I would hear in a song like this, right? It would be felt or wool heads for the kick. It'd be maybe brushes or reeds. I have 6 sticks back there that are reeds. And then like put towels over the drums or put those over the drums. Now, yeah, late stream day. That's my last one. This is my last one, Battis. I got to get out of here. What I would say, now that's what I would do with real drums. If you had real drums, I would look for like deadened, really dry, really tight, and then soft on all of these other parts, right? I want to make sure that everything about, again, what the common theme between like using this instead of a rubber mallet, using brushes instead of sticks, using dead heads instead of more resonance with sticks. The way, the common theme there is we're softening the blow of everything. We're making everything really dry, really dead. And everything a little bit softer on the attack side, right? Okay, I was just going and popped in. Hey, sounds good, Vettis. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for tapping in. Now, if you're not going to use a real drummer, then we just need to find a way to mirror that. So then what I would do is like, I'm going to come over here. I'll switch to DAW really quick over on YouTube and Twitch. If you're on YouTube and Twitch, you'll see me switch over. But then what you can do is you can either find some plugins that'll do it. So I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to go stock free plugins on Pro Tools really quick. And I'll show you a little bit of what we can do here. So, and then we just need to mirror that, right? It's like, okay, well, I don't have a real drummer. So I got to find a way. To make this sound without it. So I'm going to do a brush kit here. So give me a sec just to find this real quick. And I'll show you exactly kind of what this is gonna sound like, so you can actually hear it over your record. Let me see. Is it under? Okay, let me switch this real quick. I just moved all my screens around, so I'm looking at opposite sides right now. That's why I'm getting confused. I'm going, hold on, where am I looking? Right, so this is more what we're hearing right now. Right, this is it. There's nothing. It's a good sounding, nothing wrong with that, but it's very on the nose. We don't, very, very snappy. Okay, so what I want to do, give me one sec. I got to find this. Where is... I'm not used to looking on this side. Let me see. You said you're on Logic, but there's usually a kit like this and even your stock stuff. Hey, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. Why can I find this one kit? Let's see, maybe it's under here. Okay. Well, I'll do a different one. I'll bring up another one here. Not that. Not that. Hold on, we're getting there. We're getting there. I need to reorganize all of these. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a different. I'm gonna switch to another free one because I want to do free just because it's gonna give you the most legs, right? If you don't want to spend a bunch of because plugins are stupid and expensive and stupid expensive. So I'm gonna do I'll do another one. Again, it's up on Twitch and YouTube if you want to see what I have on there really quick. The vintage drums are gonna be probably the best bet. That's this 100%. Just thuddy. It gets such a different texture. I'm gonna switch to the animal kit. Same thing. Thuddy, nasty. Now this might be sticks and stuff, but completely different texture. So different world. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's get into this for a sec here. Let's go, Tab. And again, this is, I forgot to say for TikTok for who's here. This is the Spitfire Labs. So this is free. I try as often as I can to not be like, oh, you know what would fix your thing? A $300 drum plugin and extra. It's like, if that's your answer, cool. that's great. Most people aren't trying to come across that answer. If you're coming in here for a consultation, you're like, hey, yeah, and your answer is a brand new studio. Like that's not the answer people are looking for. So as often as I can, unless you're asking me like, hey, what mic should I get? Yeah, we're closer today, Tab. Last one. This is our last one. We'll be on tomorrow. Unless you ask me like, hey, what mic should I get for $1,500? And I ask some questions to clarify what you're doing and so on and so on. Most often I'm going to try to give you deals. Like I want to try to give you, things that are going to be a little bit more accessible to most people. This is a free plugin, man. This is Spitfire Labs. If you don't have Spitfire Labs, every producer should have Spitfire Labs. It's free and you have like 70 gigs worth of sounds that you can use, from synths to drums to basses to strings to a billion different articulations of random wind instruments and stuff like that. Just endless sound design. There's so many options on here and there's so many, and they're all free. Literally gigs and gigs and gigs of sounds for free. They have a couple good drum sets, especially if you want more like vintage dead stuff like this. Like I said, much less resonant, a little bit drier, right? A little bit deeper. So I'm going to play just what you have here. And this obviously is not exactly what I would do, but you can kind of get an idea of the difference in texture.
Of the past that I used to know.
Already, hold on. And obviously, this is not even the part of the song where you're like doing this. I'm going to bring this up just a hair. Literally immediately. And this is not even where you...
A glimpse of the past that I used to know. The fires dancing to the tune of your name.
You can just hear how, again, it's not even where you have drums. It's not even necessarily what you should do, but you get the feel is what I'm talking about. Thuddy. This is the vintage one. So this is Animal Kit. This is Animal Kit from the vintage. So it's on Spitfire Labs, vintage drums, Animal Kit. That is like, it's that same idea though. The way that just tucks into like, dude, of course. Anytime, man. Anytime. The way that, again, what I like about this is more of a brushed feel, more texture, deep and thuddy. That texture, you can hear how immediately it just, whether or not you do this idea, it tucks into the production, right? How it just settles behind your vocal, where the other drums like snap through. They slice through the middle of the mix. They pierce right over the top of everything and kind of cut through. All of this feels very like washed and like very subdued.
Shimmer in the heat of
Yeah, I got you.
I'm bringing him in.
I don't think here, just random note here. I don't think this kit has cymbals. I think this one only has toms and kick and snare, but I think you could go to the 1975 kit. And I think this one. This one does. This one does. Let me see. Oh no, there is. Hold on. Yeah, there is some. They're just they're at random places on the keyboard. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, let's play it over this last section really quick. Let me hear what it's doing first. Okay. It's gonna be hard to hear with both, but you can still have some of the. I mean, that's a little obnoxious right now, and I would probably also compress this, EQ it a little bit, right? So it's a little too boomy at the bottom end, but even just having more of that thud. It's just, it feels more natural. It feels more real because it is, because this is a much broader sample, right? Like the Spitfire stuff just has more sampling points. It's a more detailed drum sound. So anyways, stuff like that to me, replacing even just the percussion here, keeping the brass, keeping the strings, keeping the guitars, keeping the noise in the background, and then just making sure everything about the song points in the same direction. Everything's warm, everything's like mellow, everything is soft. 100%. Yeah. And I mean, it's probably like, Steven Slate. It's probably Get Good Drums, whatever, GD2. Like there's so many fantastic session drums that you can do through VST that are $200, $150, $100. Like they're really good MIDI drums, but what is being sampled is so distinct from what's there. Where like I have a bunch of different drum plugins, obviously. So like I could switch to another drum plugin that would just be the worst decision for this, right? Like Hertz drums is like snappy, sharp metal drums, right? And that would just be the worst decision possible for this. So for me, that just comes down to not even necessarily that it's a good plugin or a bad plugin. It's the right for the direction of the song. So for me, this all comes down to sound selection, all comes down to sample choice and stuff like that. I think if you can shift the energy on this percussion right here, it will just like soften the emotion of the song for me, and rebuild a lot of that there. Okay, let's listen to the last section here. Let me listen for the horns here as well. I like that. So there's a couple layers here, right? This left one here, let me get out of my drums here for a second here so I can get back to my keys. This left side. So there's a lead melody on the left, every once, so the one on the right, I don't think does this at all. The harmony of it that's happening on the left side, every once in a while, there's a note or two that gets hit that there's just a lot of tension to. Tension is not a bad thing. It manifests in the mix, and you can decide whether or not you like what's manifesting in the mix. There's a couple notes that it hits that feel like it has a lot of tension to it, where the song doesn't necessarily have that tension. It's very major, and very, happy sounding and just really warm and easy sounding. So on that left side, if it's all MIDI, then I would maybe make a couple MIDI corrections. I can show you where really quick. Oh, this is great. Great. This is good. What's up, Miranda? Dun, dun. So it's kind of like, I think it's the F. There's like an F that's being hit. So when most of the rest of this is right, really easy. Every once in a while, you're then getting that. Now, all on a piano, it sounds fine. Just sounds like, tension and a chord on a piano. But when this is happening, these two notes are happening at the same time with the brass. That's where you're getting a lot of that tension from the second right there. Right? It gives you some dissonance right there. So what I would probably do is just bring that F either up to a G sharp so that it comes from that to just like a little bit cleaner, or even the 7 right below it could be nice. But maybe take any time that you'll hear it here in a second. Again, I think it's an F. Here in a sec, right here, I think. Dun. It's right there. So when everything else is dun, 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 you'll hear this dun. On the left side. Dun. That note right there, you could drop it down to there, so you'll be, right? If you just drop it 2 semitones down to D sharp, you drop that 2 semitones down, that settles it a little bit more right there. And or you back off of it by a couple dB on the layer. The lead melody is a little bit louder. The background layer is quite a bit quieter. It supports it a little bit more without it taking over, being too prominent. So the tension just doesn't feel as prominent. There's options. In my opinion, I really like the brass, and I like what the brass does in the mix. So I would probably just shift. Some of those notes right there. Change the F to either like a G or G sharp, or maybe a D sharp, which would be a full step down. That would be so easy to do. Just, it happens like 3 times in the outro of the song, and that's it. Just take those 3 MIDI notes and drop it down a go. Yeah, no, it's literally take this note and put it there. That's it. You just, if there's like 3 notes in the MIDI right there, that's right there, take the F, drop it to there. Just literally a click and a drag down 3 times. That's a couple revisions. I mean, I don't think so. For the hardest part, yeah. I don't think you're far. I don't think you're far at all. The hardest part, what's up, Joel? Good to see you. The hardest part would then be, if you don't have to, of course, but if you redo drums, having to reprogram and rebalance those, that will be the longest revision I think that you need to do. Most everything else that I hear, I really like. I really like the ambiance. I like the vocal mix. I like so much of the other elements that are happening in there. I love the acoustic bass and just the texture of it. It's so well done. So well done. So for me, my main points are some tension in those notes on the lead elements and restructuring percussion potentially if you feel like it's worth it. But y'all show some love to Alan Karras. I got to get out of here. Late night vibes. Yeah, late night vibes. This is our last one of the day. We had a little bit of a later live today. We'll be earlier tomorrow. I'm all over the place, y'all. I'm redoing the studio, so it's just chaos in here. So our schedule's crazy. Maybe someday in the future it won't be as crazy, but for now it is. It's just whenever I say we're live, and we hop back in. I appreciate y'all so much. Alan Karras, I love what you're doing. Thank you so much for tapping in today. I appreciate you hanging out and for your patience as well. Anybody else who is left in live, that is going to be Retrack, Zach, and Lou. All of y'all will be, of course, saved for the next time that you're able to come in and boosted the next time that you come in as well. So definitely make sure that y'all show up either tomorrow or later on this week, whenever you have the ability to. Love and appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Miranda. I appreciate that. It genuinely means a lot. I've been so excited. Things are looking good in here. The drums are in, Miranda. The drums are in, and the cymbals, and they're gorgeous. And I haven't played them yet because I need to tune them and mic them up. But I got a full new set, it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm in love with them. It's a fantastic finish, all new K Suite set. Of course I will. Once I get everything set up, it'll be once I get everything set up, you'll see it nonstop. They're gorgeous. It's the white vintage. It's so good. It's so good. So I just got those up. I got a full set of K Suites on there right now. So 21, 19, 17, 15-inch hats. And then I have my K cluster on there as well. So full set of Ks on there, and it sounds so good. Anyways, that's for another day. But it's coming together in here. I'm waiting on the console. Console will hopefully come next week, most likely. Hopefully the guy will ship it out Wednesday. I'll get a console in here next week, and then things will be looking pretty good in here. It'll be fun. I'll do a studio tour and all that fun stuff, so y'all can see what's going on. Love and appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out today. Hopefully we'll see y'all very, very soon. Peace.